Words, weapons, sharpen knives, makes you wonder how the other half died. Other half died. Makes you wonder, wonder. Well, here come the man with a look in his eye. It's fed on nothing but full of pride. Look at him go, look at him kick. Makes you wonder how the other half live. Every single one of us, the devil inside, devil inside, devil inside. Every single one of us, the devil inside. Oh. Here come the world, the look in its eye. Future uncertain, but certainly slight. Look at the faces, listen to the bells. It's hard to believe we need a place called hell. Place called hell. The devil inside, the devil inside. Every single one of us, the devil inside. Devil inside, the devil inside. Every single one of us, the devil inside. Ooh. Well, here comes a woman with a look in her eye. She's dressed on leather, with flesh on the mind. Words and weapons, sharpen the knives, makes you wonder how the other half died. The devil inside, the devil inside. Every single one of us, the devil inside. The devil inside, the devil inside. Every single one of us, the devil inside. The devil inside, the devil inside. Every single one of us, the devil inside. Devil inside,
it's alright. Don't you worry, child, after 9. 'Cause in the morning come with the new day sun. Love will never last in line. We are the seed of a new breed. We'll succeed, our time has come. We are the new, these words are true. Let the light of love shine through. It's alright, it's alright, it's alright, it's really alright, it's alright, it's really alright. Alright, alright, everything's gonna be alright. Alright, alright, everything's gonna be alright. Alright, alright, everything's gonna be alright. Alright, alright, it's really alright. No, don't be so sad, 'cause love is by your side. No, don't be so sad, 'cause life is too short to live. No, don't be so sad, I'll be mad if you're this. It's alright, the message that I give. We are the seed of the new breed. We'll succeed, our time has come. We are the new, these words are true. Let the light of love shine through. It's alright, it's alright, it's alright, it's really alright, it's alright, it's really alright. Listen to me, dreams can come true. Call out to love, it will answer you. Forget your troubles, come. Let your heart beat go on. Let the light of love shine through. We are the seed of the new breed. We'll succeed, our time has come. We are the new, these words are true. Let the light of love shine through. It's alright, it's alright, it's alright, it's really alright, it's really alright.
Teach your nightmare, change the dream. Flow in the rhythm like a stream. Fear no evil, fear no man. Open up the mind and the beat goes bang. Let them roll and running smooth, just like a little scent to soothe. Ease the pressure, let it all go. Don't be afraid, let the feeling flow.
We are the seed of the new breed. We'll succeed, our time has come. We are the new, these words are true. Let the light of love shine through. Alright, alright, everything's gonna be alright. Alright, alright, everything's gonna be alright. Alright, alright, everything's gonna be alright. Alright, alright, it's really alright. Alright, alright, everything's gonna be alright. Alright, alright, everything's gonna be alright. Alright, alright, everything's gonna be alright. Alright, alright, it's really alright. It's really alright.
Yo, yo. Yo, yo.
Your Honor, please, gotta believe what I say. What I will tell happened just the other day. I must confess, 'cause I've had about enough. I need your help, gotta make this here thing stop.
Baby, I swear I'll tell the truth. you're 18. Say it ain't so, I will not go. Turn the lights off, carry me home.
belongs to you. And so I have to say before I go that I just want you to know I found a reason for me to change who I used to be. A reason to start over new. And the reason is you. I found a reason to show a side of me you didn't know. A reason for all that I do. And the reason is you. Here's the thing, we started out friends. It was cool, but it was all pretend. Yeah, yeah. Since you've been gone, you're dedicated, you took the time. Wasn't long till I called you mine. Yeah, yeah. Since you've been gone, and all you'd ever hear me say is how I picture me with you. That's all you'd ever hear me say. But since you've been gone, I can't breathe for the first time. I'm so moving on, yeah, yeah. Thanks to you, now I get what I want. Since you've been gone, how can I put it? You put me on. I even fell for that stupid love song. Yeah, yeah. Since you've been gone, how come I never hear you say, I just wanna be with you? Guess you never felt that way. But since you've been gone, I can't breathe for the first time. I'm so moving on, yeah, yeah. Thanks to you, now I get what I want. Since you've been gone, you had to change, you blew it. Out of sight, out of mind. Shut your mouth, I just can't take it. Again and again and again and again. Since you've been gone, I can't breathe for the first time. I'm so moving on, yeah, yeah. Thanks to you, now I get what I want. I can't breathe for the first time. I'm so moving on, yeah, yeah. Thanks to you, now I get. You should know that I get what I want. Since you've been gone, since you've been gone, since you've been gone.
Well, yeah, as you've heard them now, Nova Radio Northeast, we're live here at Maximum Pro Wrestling, and it's going to be a hell of an event, Halloween British Wrestling. Of course, I'm delighted to be here. I'm Wayne Madden of the Spanish Announce Table, and we're going to be broadcasting between now and just about 7 o'clock as you hear our ring announcer, Andrew Newton, in the background. One person I'm not so delighted to be behind here today for the first match is, of course, my colleague on microphone for the moment, contractually obligated to say Mr. Dennis Donovan. Hello, Dennis.
Yes, I am here, and you can dispense with the pleasantries. There's really no need. You don't like me, I don't like you.
Do you know, to say that is an understatement, but sure, here we are. We have a first match of the evening. And as Andrew Newton has said, it is scheduled for one fall. And tonight, I believe, we have War Mick, the king of the biker wall. Do you know much about him?
Well,
Dennis?
I know that my associate, your Canadian nightmare, and believe me, he will be your nightmare later on tonight.
Fair enough. Okay.
And of course, our wrestling icon, Mr. Tim Strange. Yes, he has already faced Warmick in the past. And next Friday night in Pegswood, 9 days from now, he's going to have the opportunity to beat him once again.
Do you know, it's one of these things that I think, Dennis, sometimes some of these guys, you know, they take it too seriously. I mean, think about good old, you know, Tim Strange and
Oh, here we go.
you know, Canadian hero and this nonsense. I mean, who gave him this flag? Why did he decide to just have this self-appointed Canadian hero nonsense?
Right, nobody gave him anything. Let's be honest about that. Mr. Tim Strange procured that flag himself.
Okay.
He's a
okay.
Canadian. All Canadians respect their country, unlike the rabble that lives over here.
So, just to let you know, folks at home, this is War Mick versus Spike for tonight's dark match. It's funny though, actually, because back in the 90s, World Championship Wrestling tried something like this, where they basically attempted, as best they could, to do wrestling on the radio. And so we are following in their footsteps tonight. And
introducing his opponent.
Andrew Newton is going to introduce the opponent now. And of course, your referee, your senior official in the ring is Ben Stewart. I suppose, Dennis, you don't like senior officials either. Really, you don't like any officials for that matter.
Look,
Because
the
of course-
official plays a very important part in the match. He's there to be respected. And as you know, I always respect the official.
Okay.
Despite your recent posts on your Twitter feed. I mean, look, you know the reason I'm here.
Yeah,
I'm not here to call this. I'm here to confront you later on tonight.
Listen, you're only here because you're contractually obligated to be here.
Oh.
You're only here because
really?
you found a way of somehow blackmailing our per intern
I
Kieran.
blackmailed nobody. That is an horrendous accusation.
Well,
And you may well hear from my lawyer about that.
you know what? I would welcome a letter from your lawyer because indeed any correspondence would be welcomed at this stage because I haven't even seen a copy of this contract that we talked about last week.
You know it exists. You've seen it.
No, plausible deniability. Now, it looks as if Spike is not a fan of balloons. He's popping them in front of children. This is horrible. This is awful.
He appears to
actually.
be. Well, good on him.
Absolutely
Good on
awful.
him was what
Little
I see.
Spike. And it sounds as if Big Mick, the king of the biker wall, War Mick and Spike are ready for this exciting match.
Of course, War Mick, he could pick up a victory tonight, and if he does, good on him.
Hold on.
As I said, we'll have some tricks or treats.
So seems to be there's something going
So,
on here.
the loser of this match is going to get a trick, and they're going to have to wear a dress.
So apparently, in what I can only describe as some kind of forced act of cross-dressing, we're going to basically put the loser of this match in a dress.
Well, I don't approve of that.
Yes, indeed. And because it's Halloween, look who is in the crowd. We can actually see Michael Myers walking through the crowd. Fantastic.
Yes.
Totally in character, I might add, as well.
well,
Like, that's
well, listen,
fantastic.
You know, I'm not out here to talk about that. I'm not out here to talk about these reprobates or anything like that.
Also
I
see
am
the-
simply
yes.
here to discuss the career of my associate, your Canadian nightmare, and our wrestling icon, Mr. Tim Strange.
Nah, listen, wrestling icon or not, right? Tim Strange.
What do you mean wrestling icon or not?
Well, I'm trying to say that Tim Strange, you know, he's a good wrestler. I mean, he's not a great wrestler.
He
but
is a
he's
great
good
wrestler.
Okay.
Great, in the truest sense of
How
the word.
did you and Tim actually meet? How did that occur? How did
Got
that
nothing to do with you.
I'm just curious. I'm trying to make small talk, Dennis.
Oh, don't make small talk.
Okay.
Call the matches with what you're being paid for.
Okay, fair enough. I'm not being paid for. Are you being paid for this?
Of course I am. It's part of my contract.
How did you get this? This is madness. I hate this
Handsomely,
intern.
I might add.
It's the worst intern we've ever had in the history of the show.
Oh,
when
I
he
would
had
say
to-
the best.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I'd imagine so.
Anyway,
Now,
look at
listen.
look at War Mick. Look at precisely what Mr. Tim Strange is going to be doing to him next week in Pegswood, next Friday night in Pegswood.
Warmick getting a beating in the early part of this match.
Well,
from
you better get
Spike.
used to it because next Friday night.
He seems to be uneasy on his feet, and Spike really taking it to him. Now the size advantage, of course, in Warmick's favour, but of course Spike with the hard chops, and you can hear them from here live on Nova Radio Northeast. Those are hard chops. As
Very hard shot.
Yes,
very
indeed.
well done. Very well done.
Maximum Pro Wrestling here tonight in North Shields, and we've got a fantastic crowd for you here tonight. So, as well as myself and
define
Dennis, of course,
fantastic. I mean, look at
I
them.
will define
Look-
fantastic.
look at
actually,
them.
I meant not only the audience, because the audience are great as well.
Right.
But not only are the audience great, but we've also got a fantastic crowd in the effort of Damien Stone and yourself. And,
Absolutely, I agree.
Lucas and James and Andrew Newton, and of course
You could have stopped at
Maddie
me.
Mayhem, and they're all going to be present. So apparently we have to move up. We're getting joined by Andrew Newton. What the hell is going on here? Just remember to turn the on button there.
Yeah, I've got it on here. Hopefully you can hear us loud and clear. Starting off MPW tonight with a trick or treat delight. Loser of this match between Spike Mitchell, also known as Bulldog, and War Mick. Somebody's wearing a dress, and if I'm honest, I don't think anybody wants to see War Mick wear it because it looks a little bit on the small side. To be
Yeah.
quite revealing.
I've got to imagine War Mick definitely has the size advantage in this one.
Oh, definitely. Some vicious shots that he's just laying out here.
I mean, look, we all. Look, he could pick up the victory tonight.
Yes,
Who
he
knows?
could, yeah.
Quite frankly, who cares? It's what happens next Friday night in Pegswood that counts.
The arrogance, really,
It's
Mr.
not-
Donovan.
it's not arrogance,
It
it's
is. It
confidence,
is.
you
Yeah.
know
No.
that.
Listen, I'm not doing that. It's. You know, it boggles the mind. Really, it boggles the mind.
Well, it shouldn't. I mean, you've seen my associate wrestle in the past. You know what he's capable of.
Well, I mean, you know,
Big near miss from
we know
Spike.
we know what's happening. We know what's going on.
Right.
We have lots of excitement coming up. Obviously, we're very excited by the presence of Damien Stone here tonight. We're very present by James Chilvers and Lucas Chappell and all of the team from Spanish Announce Table, and myself included, as War Mick brings Spike Mitchell down onto the canvas. That gets an applause from the audience. Andrew Newton, this is very much like WCW World Championship Wrestling back in the 90s when they did those fabled radio shows for wrestling.
Yeah, I heard about them. There's only a handful of them around.
That's right, of
and,
the audio that survived. Yes.
The audio has survived, but nobody seems to find it, and nobody
No.
wants to put it up.
No, that's
which
it.
is- It's a very weird way to enjoy wrestling, to be fair.
It is,
because
isn't it? Yeah.
Obviously, a lot of the time, all you hear is banging and clattering.
Well, I mean, what you would imagine as well is that as we broadcast live over Nova Radio Northeast tonight, as well as broadcasting live, you also have the pleasure of being joined through the Facebook page, both the Spanish Announce Table and the Nova Radio Northeast Facebook page, and indeed as well through Maximum Pro Wrestling's page by live video feed from this show. So you can get involved, and it looks as though
God,
the
your pint.
action...
God, your pint.
The
Oh,
action
God,
is
this
spilled
guy.
out into the audience. War Mick. Oh, a hard
I'm
tush.
sure this is
so
all
Slam
very
onto the
interesting,
floor.
but we're here to discuss my associate, Mr. Tim Strange.
No, we're not.
We
This-
are.
This is a match between
Read
War
the
Mick and
contract.
Spike Mitchell.
We are.
What? Oh, right.
This
that
isn't
again.
the Tim Strange show. It says
it's
Maximum Pro Wrestling.
It is
Well,
Maximum
it shouldn't.
Pro Wrestling.
It should say
Tim
the
Strange isn't even
Show.
scheduled to wrestle tonight.
No,
so
but
wha-
he is out here to do Tim Talks, the greatest,
Yes.
by the way, greatest show in the history of Nova
since he
Radio.
ripped off the segment from Rowdy Roddy Piper.
Nothing has been ripped off.
Okay. Well, I should be the judge of that
they're
because
at
I'll tell
9,
you.
they're gonna have to
Yes,
get
I
back in
will.
before
Yes.
they get counted out.
And it looks like War Mick. Oh my God, this is a count out. So both men
Ring the bell.
counted out Ben Stewart asking for the bell to be run. Senior official says that that's it. It's a 10 count. Everyone saw that. War Mick isn't happy, and Andrew Newton going back to settle this.
You're the boss.
Okay, asking for Mark Brown, the boss of Maximum Pro Wrestling, to make a decision. They've
There's only one way to decide it. Let's swap bottles in the loo that way, the dress.
they're going to right. So what's going to happen here, Dennis, if I'm not much mistaken, is
you
that the
probably
two
will be.
wrestlers are going to bob for apples and the loser is going to wear the dress. This is how we're going to end the wrestling match.
Oh.
This is about as crazy as Tim Strange's career.
How dare you say that?
I think I can say now. You see, Andrew would have a couple of things to say about this. Andrew, what the hell is going on? What's going on about this?
I'm not really quite sure what's going on, to be fair. Obviously, Mark Anthony is the owner of MPW. I'm just giving him a hand out, as I'm normally from Northside.
Plug.
Yeah, Mark is a very creative guy when it comes to matches and match stipulations, and I'd like to say it's where I take some of my inspiration from, but being Halloween, let's bob for apples.
Okay.
He's now coming out with 2 lots of bobbing apples.
I mean, I got to be honest. This is exciting. This is one of those. It's one of those rare moments that you can say at a British wrestling show that they brought out bobbing for apples.
You can only get away with this in independent wrestling.
And you could only get away. You couldn't do this in Ring of Honor or NXT.
Definitely not.
Could you imagine this kind of nonsense in NXT?
Or
It's
in a Tim
ridiculous.
Strange match.
Exactly.
I think I'm going to be
exactly.
needed.
Okay. Andrew Newton thinks he's going to be needed as he returns to the ring, and we're obviously very excited to look across the floor and see the owner of Nova Radio Northeast, the manager, the guru, Mr. Neil Owen Kipling. And Mark is asking if the audience can count to 60. This is
Everyone start counting to 60.
what?
The one who has the most apples at the end of the count is the winner.
What is this? Okay.
Or if they're good enough to get the apples out before the count is finished, they're the winner.
Okay. So it looks as though the rules are that both Warmick and Spike both have to bob for apples. And the crowd will count to 60. Spike is asking if this is a joke. And the crowd are insisting that it is indeed not a joke. But
Are
I'm
we sure
so,
about that?
do you know, I'm so pleased, though, to be honest with you. I am so pleased, Dennis, that you're here for this tonight.
Oh.
Both for 2
you
reasons.
are.
And the first reason is because you can see this kind of diversity that's present in British wrestling. A wake-up call, really, for aged, staggered performers who like to come out waving their national flag. I can't think of anyone
How
in particular.
dare you say that?
Okay,
We know
all
who
right.
you're talking about
Yes,
there.
all right,
we
all
know
right.
who you're talking.
But the second reason is because the audience can see this tonight.
It's okay. All of your insults, all of your slander, it's going to be dealt with tonight during Tim
And
Talks.
it looks as though Spike is attempting to drown War Mick. This is insane. What is going on here?
21, 22, 23, 24.
It looks insane. And Mark is now asking for Ben Stewart to disqualify Spike Mitchell after what can only be counted as attempted murder, really, in many respects.
Well, I mean,
That's
you say
absolutely...
attempted murder, but 9 days from now, my associate, your Canadian nightmare, our wrestling icon, Mr. Tim Strange, is going to do a hell of a lot worse to War Mick than just that.
Are you going to say that we should alert the authorities because Tim Strange is going to kill War Mick? in
No,
the
no,
ring?
no, 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 don't you go down that route.
Okay. And apparently everybody really wants an act of cross-dressing tonight. Spike Mitchell is away. He's over by the bar, trying to get himself some liquid refreshment, I assume. He's saying that he's not wearing the dress. He's fairly intent that he's not doing that.
If you don't wear the dress,
This is
you'll be
insane.
suspended from MPW.
Well, that's not fair.
Come on.
Come on, that's not fair at all.
This is okay. So Spike Mitchell, facing absolute expulsion from Maximum Pro Wrestling, is now being forced to go back into the ring.
Absolutely horrendous decision.
This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy.
Well, you know, what
And,
Warmick he can take this. He can take this little victory if he likes. It
I
doesn't matter.
think, yeah, I mean,
It
you know,
doesn't matter. Tonight doesn't matter. What matters is next week, my associate's next match against Warmick in Warmick's hometown.
well,
Hexwood.
you know what? I'll tell you something.
Gentlemen, let's hear it one more time for your winner, War Mick.
Incredible scenes as we kick off Maximum Pro Wrestling. Lots more stuff to come up here on Nova Radio Northeast, but I think at the moment what we'll do is that we'll look to take a brief break, cue up some music, and hopefully you'll join us very, very soon
Well, I
again for
won't
the
be
rest of the
joining you.
event. Okay, thanks, Dennis.
This is Nova Radio Northeast.
I'm running out of ways to make you see. I want you to stay here beside me. I won't be okay and I won't pretend I am. So just tell me today, take my hand. Please take my hand. Please take my hand. Please take my hand. Please take my hand. Just say yes. Just say there's nothing holding you back. It's not a test, nor a trick of the mind, only love. It's so simple and you know it is. You know it is. We can't be to and fro like this all our lives. You're the only way to me. The path is clear. What do I have to say to you? For God's sake, dear. 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 Just say yes. Just say there's nothing holding you back. It's not a test, nor a trick of the mind, only love. Just say yes, 'cause I'm aching, I know you are too. For the touch of your warm skin as I breathe you in. I can feel your heart beat through my shirt. And this was all I wanted, all I want. It's all I want. It's all I want. It's all I want. It's all I want. Just say yes. Just say there's nothing holding you back. It's not a test, nor a trick of the mind, only love. Just say yes, 'cause I'm aching, I know you are too. For the touch.
This looks like it's going to be a really exciting match. This is so weird watching these two. Like,
It really is. They're both dressed as each other, and they're both taking on each other's personas. It's the tattoos I love. The
it's
Sharpie
so
tattoo.
weird. So they're dressed up as each other. They've come down to the ring with each other's music, and they're going to be wrestling using each other's moves.
It's something unheard of. It's something I've not seen before.
It's so strange.
We had the whole, in WWE, we had the whole Dolph Ziggler
Yes.
imitating everyone else, but we've never had...
I think we had Goldust and William Regal dress as each other once for a match, but I don't think they did each other's moves like these guys are. So it's a real contrast.
It's really going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Surely neither of them wants to win, because then the win would go to
The other
opponent.
person. Yeah. How weird.
On record.
And have they drawn each other's tattoos on as well?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So he's got a Sharpie back tattoo, Thanos leg tattoo, with all in Sharpie.
It's so funny because the audience didn't know who to boo or who to cheer to begin with, because they've been so preconditioned to boo Joseph Biggs.
Surely they're both heel and they're both face.
Yeah. It's both a lot of fun, I'll give it that. Oh! Not gonna lie, that looked really painful with Tope there.
I think he was imitating Joseph Biggs' accent for a second then.
Yeah. I think even when he's being Joseph Biggs, he's still popular with everybody though, isn't he?
He really is.
I tell you what though, James, this contract going on, the Spanish announce table and Dennis at the moment, what do you make of that? It's absolutely perplexing what's going on with our show at the minute.
I really don't understand it at all. Me and you obviously weren't at the last radio
No,
show.
I'm
and
starting
we've
to be
come
glad.
in And now we've got a new boss.
I know,
apparently.
I don't understand what's going on. I get an email from HR saying that management's changed, or directors of authority have changed, and now we're all reporting to Dennis. I mean, what?
It just does not make sense. I personally will not be reporting to Dennis.
It's crazy. This is all going to turn into the Tim Strange show yet again.
He's like, Dennis is like the Boris Johnson of Spanish announce table. He was never elected.
Yeah.
Nobody wants him.
He wears a ridiculous suit and he's got a horrible haircut.
But yeah, it would be interesting to find out a bit more about this contract that he's claiming he has.
I'm worried about this, I'm not going to lie. We'll have to keep, obviously, keep our eyes on the board and just keep seeing what happens on Spanish Announce Table every Wednesday over Nova Radio. Oh, I tell you what, with Joseph Biggs, when he hits and when he kicks, it's like he's going to take someone's head off.
Oh, he's really good at that. I was at an event a few weeks ago and he wrestled 2 matches in one night. But
The same
two
night?
different venues.
Wow.
So 2 different promotions in one night.
I have to admit, it's quite jarring seeing him not laden in baby oil for once.
I bet you never thought you'd ever say that.
I have to admit, yeah, it's one of those phrases you don't say very often. Here we go. Oh, I thought that was going to be the finish then. Look at this.
So in terms of wrestling at the moment, how
Yes.
are you feeling about the big show in Saudi?
Mixed feelings for me personally. For me personally, I think it is somewhat of a propaganda stunt, sort of from a moral point of view. I'm not on board with it, but I can't help feel excited. I get to see Hulk Hogan come out with his team of wrestlers. I get to see the Nature Boy come out with his team. I get to see a dream match with Tyson Fury, again, somebody whose morals don't align with mine, but I can't admit, I can't deny that it's going to be an interesting sight to see him fight Braun Strowman. And we get Cain Velasquez and Braun Strowman, Cain Velasquez and Brock Lesnar in a rematch. MMA and wrestling collide yet again. It's going to be exciting. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, it really is. It really is. It's really strange because I said this the other day as well, but Floyd Mayweather was the last boxer to appear in a WWE ring, and
That's
that
right.
was more of a gimmick between him and the Big Show at
It was.
WrestleMania. But now you've got someone in Tyson Fury that could actually damage
Big
Strowman.
time. And do you know what? I think this is going to go one of 2 ways with those two. I think it's either going to be smoke and mirrors and a somewhat competitive match with smoke and mirrors, and then Fury wins by the skin of his teeth, but Strowman looks strong in defeat. Or it's just going to be a squash match, and I think Fury's going to squash Strowman because it's going to be his launching pad and his platform into America.
Yeah.
I don't want that to happen because obviously it's a bit disrespectful to wrestling to have the celebrity come in and squash someone that they've been building for years as a dominant star. So I hope it's not disrespectful, and I hope Strowman doesn't look silly, but money talks at the end of the day, and I think this is going to be somewhat of a publicity stunt, James.
It really does. By the sounds of it as well, Fury's got plans on going to UFC.
Oh, really?
So he's using WWE as a platform to
Yeah.
become a UFC fighter.
I couldn't agree more. Speaking of UFC, we've got Cain Velasquez wrestling for the WWE Championship at Saudi Arabia
How
now.
can they have Velasquez winning it?
I don't know because they like 50-50 booking. I can't help but think they want Brock to get his win back. At the same time, if Kane wins, he could drop the title to somebody on Raw, and then
he might hand it to Mysterio.
yeah, something like that, and then that title ends up on Raw, and the Universal goes to SmackDown with the Fiend,
Yeah.
maybe. I don't think that is what's going to happen, but it's a viable option that they've got.
Speaking of the Fiend, we've got Seth Rollins against the Fiend, where the match cannot be stopped under any circumstance.
Even if there's a
How's it
pinfall,
come to this?
it's going to be like a forever match.
I know.
I honestly don't know. It's personally, I wouldn't have booked that match. I am one of the few people, myself and Wayne Madden included, one of the few people that really liked the ending of Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
It's actually the result that we went in hoping and praying for.
We said to each other off air it was the only result it could have had,
Yeah,
really.
we said off air and indeed on air that they needed to end that match in a no contest, and lo and behold, that's what they did. They should have left it there, because now anything they do is damaging to both Seth
Yeah.
Rollins and to the Fiend, unfortunately, and that's not what we want
If
to
they
see.
have the Fiend beat Rollins, then it ruins Rollins' credibility.
Yeah.
And if Rollins beats the Fiend, then it makes the Fiend look weak.
Absolutely, and yes, it very much so. If Rollins beats the Fiend, it makes the Fiend look weak in his third match, not what you need. At the same time, if the Fiend wins, you either get an absentee champion where he's not on TV every week like we have with Lesnar, or alternatively, we have the Fiend on TV every week, and that's going to completely overexpose Bray Wyatt in the character that he's in at the minute.
Yeah, definitely. I think the Fiend needs to be like a demon Balor.
A special
like
attraction.
Just main event.
Do you remember how Andre the Giant was back in like the early 90s, where he'd come in like very rarely, but when he did, it meant something.
Yeah,
something like
definitely.
that, and that's what he is to me, a special character.
A bit like The Rock and even
Exactly.
Cena. As
Yeah,
well.
exactly
Cena
that.
just rocks up and puts on a show.
Oh, absolutely. The thing is with WWE, once again, they put themselves into a corner, whereas a lose-lose situation, they do it all the time, and it's really frustrating. Oh, just to call this match in the ring, that was very close. Oh! Took his head off with it. Flying knee to the face. Oh, I kicked out in the nick of time there as well. I was like, what? 2 and 8 nights.
How humiliating would it be to lose the match to your own finisher?
To your own finisher, losing the match to yourself in your own persona. I guess it means you're doing
then
something right at the end of the day.
And then listening to your own music as you've lost the match.
Humiliating. Well, I guess you could say, well, of course I lost. I was being you.
I didn't have the right move set that day.
Real fast-paced action here.
Oh, it is.
Nice.
Come
Rolling
on.
Death Valley driver there.
There we
Lovely.
go. Biggs has won it.
Wait, well, is it Oliver Barrett? But it's not Oliver Barrett. I guess it's Joseph Biggs. Or is it? That's so confusing. What a match.
I still don't know who's won this match.
So strictly speaking, it was Oliver Barrett, but he's not Oliver Barrett. He's Joseph Biggs for night. Oh, well, happy Halloween, folks.
So we are going to cut to another musical break.
Yeah,
Right
sounds
now,
good to
another
me.
Track.
Listen to some tunes.
join us here. A very special broadcast, Nova Radio Northeast from Maximum Pro Wrestling. And it
What a
looks.
night it's been.
I know, what a night. It's crazy. And it sounds like, what it sounds like from the music, as we're joined here by Lucas Chappell and Damien Stone. And what it sounds like from the music is that good old Mr. Tim is going to do some kind of talk, some kind of speech.
Who does he think he is? No way, Nova Scotia. I mean, this guy's like...
And of course, Mr. Dennis Donovan making it obvious that Tim Strange is our Canadian nightmare. He's been making threats on social media all this week about me. It's been most unflattering.
I can't believe how he's been carrying on. The way they disrespected this show, disrespected our channel was insane.
His conduct's been absolutely ridiculous.
It's like a knockoff Jacques
It's
Rougeau.
amazing.
You seem to have zero etiquette here, and you don't know what happens when someone plays a great national anthem like "Oh Canada," because you idiots are supposed to stand up and give me the respect that I deserve.
Now
Yeah, I'll see that when I believe it.
Is someone supposed to go and get a tree to cut down or something? I don't know.
Yeah.
How about he earns a bit of respect instead of, abusing
Well,
the fans?
that's exactly it. It's funny actually because there was an article about how people were annoyed by the chant of "what is disrespectful."
Yes.
But I think I'm going to allow it tonight.
Do you know what? For the first and only time ever, I'm actually enjoying the what chant.
Yes.
That would be fabulous, thank you.
Who does he think he is?
The crowd really don't like it.
I can't say I blame them.
Tim hasn't said anything of any great value and has been speaking now for a good 3 minutes.
Play my national anthem again.
He's like the student that the Hart family just wanted to forget.
So, yeah, he is, yeah.
Saying nothing of value seems to be what he does for a living.
Can they even allow? I mean, they put a Canadian flag in the ring tonight. I think this is.
I like to think this is all just a terrible Halloween costume, but knowing Tim, I know it's not.
Knowing Tim, this is not a Halloween costume. He really does consider himself. I mean, I know he's a former student of the dungeon, trained at the dungeon in Calgary. But I mean, it's a bit crazy, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So
It's
Dennis
just the way
Donovan
he carries on, and the way that Dennis has been interjecting himself into our show week after week and abusing us and our fans on the Facebook page. They're just disrespectful to us and are disrespectful to wrestling fans in general.
So Tim.
Oh, here we go.
He's actually singing.
Come back, Nikolai Volkov, all is forgiven.
And of course, some people actually removing their children from the venue.
There are children crying here.
Appropriate. What?
The last time I heard someone
is this nonsense?
The last time I heard someone attempt to sing this badly here, they got paid off.
I don't blame him. Oh, my ears.
What? Do you know what? Right, I've had
trying to
enough
get
of
his
this.
abuse.
This is unbelievable.
Yeah, shut up and go away.
Is Dennis Donovan even Canadian? Is the important thing here?
He's a golfer, I think. That's
Yeah,
that's
originated
it, yeah.
in Canada. I don't know. It's,
Very much like Virgil to the $1 million
He's trying to
man.
get us to stand up.
Hello.
Hello.
It's just, yeah.
Now you've heard of Tim Strange, great singers.
I don't know which one of them
I
looks in
don't know
better
what's
shape.
going on here.
So you shut up now, please. Shut up.
I mean, I think,
We know where we are.
the chance of nationalism and all that, it's...
But what I'm going to do now is make
I can't say I blame the fans for asking him to shut up.
all you people have been asking.
So this is
Tim
the
Strange
crazy
gonna
announcement.
cash in his number one opportunity and challenge Asylum.
Is that the question that people were waiting for?
Three Rivers title.
He's challenging Asylum for the championship.
The real question you're
Apparently
asking,
so.
when is Tim Strange going to cash in, become number one contender, become the champion, and beat Asylum one-on-one? That's the question.
Oh, he's...
Well, I believe it when I see it, Tim.
That
you know
blockbuster
what?
question is when I am going to become your Three Rivers champion and give you people a champion you don't really deserve, but I deserve to be champion.
Is this like the announcement of when he bites off more than he can chew?
You know,
I know him too.
I want to.
something about this.
See, I had every intention.
Look at
Here
Donovan
we
there.
go. Okay.
I had every intention.
Here we go.
Here we
Hold
go
on.
again.
And giving these
come on.
people exactly what they want. But we have three people over here tonight.
Hi,
three
Tim.
Very special guests from Nova Radio.
Apologies to our guests listening at home. We didn't know he was going to do this. We're really sorry.
Yeah, it's great to be
Some guy
here.
in a red jacket and whatever hell that is in between them, I am not sure.
Thanks, Tim.
But
Love
I'll
you
tell
too, buddy.
what,
That's all right, Tim.
I've had enough of this. Right, hold on.
Here we go.
the fact that these guys are purely keyboard warriors.
Oh, yeah, coming from him, yeah.
Twitter and follow me, Mr. Tim Strange. They like to go
Whoa,
on
Wayne, where are you going, dude?
Mr. Tim Strange.
Whoa,
like
Wayne.
my page. And then what they like to do is come down here and give
Wayne,
me
what are you doing, man?
They like to come down
He's,
here.
Wayne, come back.
Stuff. This guy here.
Don't lay your hands on him,
I've done it.
Stupid idiot.
Wayne, Wayne, get back. Wayne, he's going to knock you out. Wayne, get back.
I will knock you out.
Wayne, Wayne, come back.
Win.
Sorry for our fans listening at home. We didn't know this was going to happen. I'm really sorry. Whoa, Damien.
Is that?
Whoa, hang on a minute.
Damien
We've got my co-host Wayne and Damien Black just completely taken out Tim. And thank God they did. If they hadn't have done that, I don't know what would have happened to Wayne.
I couldn't be happier.
Well, that's what happens when you mess with Spanish announce table.
Exactly, yeah. I noticed that.
You okay, Wayne?
I think that's, you know what, he got what he deserved. That's
Oh,
exactly what happened there.
Definitely.
Apologies to our listeners there. We had no idea that was going to happen, but
Thank you very much, Damien Black. We
Thanks,
are fine,
Damien.
gentlemen, yes.
oh. Well, thank God for Damien Black coming to our assistance there. If he hadn't have come along, I think we'd have all become croppers.
I think we would have had some issues. Like,
I think we all want Damien Black.
I think we all want
against
Damien
Tim
Black.
Strange. Yeah, I think that's exactly what
Damien
we want.
Black versus Tim Strange.
Yes.
I want to see that, especially after Tim just came on here and attacked us.
I think that's exactly what needs to happen.
exactly.
That's exactly what needs to happen. And Dennis Donovan.
Can't say I blame you.
That's
Thank you,
exactly
Damien.
Yeah,
Thank you,
thank you,
Damien.
Saved the
Damien.
show, and
Thank
not
you,
only that,
Damien.
you've saved Wayne.
Right, we're gonna,
You're all going to die down here.
Especially Tim.
we're gonna take a bit of a break.
Yeah, I think we're going to
And
need to
we'll
take a break to take a
And we'll set
breather after
up,
that
and,
altercation.
when we come
Again,
back to you,
apologies.
we'll find out what's going on. All right, here we go.
I got my head checked by a jumbo jet. It wasn't easy, but nothing is. No. When I feel heavy metal, and I feel that I need when I lie and I'm easy all of the time, but I'm never sure why I need you. Because I need ya. I got my head done when I was young. It's not my problem. It's not my problem. When I feel heavy metal, and I feel that I need when I lie and I'm easy all of the time, but I'm never sure why I need you.
This is absolutely crazy. I can't believe it. For you guys watching at home there, the tag team was meant to be the Ashen brothers. Damien Black, who came to our assistance just a moment ago, who helped Wayne in that fight with Tim Strange, teaming with his long-term partner, Nick Gray. But when Nick turned around, it wasn't Damien. It was Ryan Rude in disguise. I can't believe it.
I did say to you that's definitely not.
I just thought he'd lost a bit of
Definitely
weight.
not the other Asham.
I genuinely thought that was Damien Black. But no, it's Ryan Rude in disguise
You
on
can
Halloween.
smell the arrogance from here, to be
Yeah,
honest.
you can.
You really could.
It's taken Nick by surprise. He's attacked him. I can't believe that's just happened.
I can't believe Tim Strange and Wayne Madden just came.
I know. I was really worried then. I thought Wayne was a goner, but luckily, the real Damien Black came out and saved him.
Our long-time friend.
A long-time friend, and regular
guest.
Regular guest on the show. Yeah. So this will be interesting. Is this going to be a singles match between the two, or?
I believe so.
I guess so. I mean, it was going to be a tag match, so...
I don't even think the bell's rung yet,
No, this isn't a scheduled match. It was going to be a tag, but obviously that's not Damien. It's Ryan in disguise. I'm not sure what the referee, Ben Stewart's, going to make of this, or what's going to happen. Can't beat a bit of comedy timing there.
No.
I'm just still shaken up with what happened with Wayne a moment ago and with Tim Strange. I'm not looking forward to seeing where this is going to pan out on over our Facebook page and our Twitter and indeed the show next week.
One of us might end up in the ring at this rate.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about.
I'm not worried. Bring on the challenge, I say.
Well, you'll be right at the front then, James.
Until it actually kicks off, then you'll be seeing me at the back.
I'll tell Tim to body slam you first.
I'll take the hit.
So what have you thought of sort of WWE since the Fox move, Raw and SmackDown? How have you been finding the shows?
We had a chat about this before. I haven't managed to catch Raw this week. I've been quite busy, but SmackDown, for me, SmackDown doesn't seem to have changed a lot at all.
No, if anything, it's got worse. I think it's not my personal cup of tea at the moment. It's like an advert for Fox Sports in the minute.
Oh, it really is.
Not my personal, but Raw's been great. Raw has got that 2002 SmackDown vibe to it.
Yeah.
Where, all right, it's the B show, but the wrestling content is great. If you ignore the diabolical storylines, which are borderline offensive, and just focus on the in-ring content, Raw has been very, very good the past couple of weeks.
One of those being, I did see this week that it was the divorce court with Jerry Lawler and
not a tasteful storyline. I think Rusev being outspoken on social media has led to somewhat of a punishment on his way out.
Well,
the
I've
business,
seen with Randy Orton as well, with a photo of him with the AEW banner behind him.
And if you remember when AEW sort of broke that it was getting a TV deal, I did say on air, Randy Orton's going to pretend that he's going to defect to leverage his contract with WWE. I think this is so he can go to Vince McMahon and say, I want double.
Didn't he tag like Elias in that as well?
He did, Elias.
And the Revival.
Yep, and Luke Harper as well.
Luke
and also
Harper.
Riddick Moss from NXT, who, as far as I'm aware, was never unhappy. He was happy to be in the company as far as I ever knew, but he was in that tag team with Tito Sabatelli a couple of years ago until they both got injured.
It just goes to show, you can imagine that WWE would have more money going forward than AEW have to just throw
Absolutely.
a talent. But for some wrestlers, money just isn't enough. They want to be at the height of.
Look at Rhino. He was going to be offered $500,000 for WWE to wrestle once or twice a month. And be a trainer. He's like, no, I want to wrestle. He's gone to Impact for half the money.
Yeah.
I
And
can't
he's
see how
doing
blame
well
him.
in
He's
Impact.
doing great in
isn't he?
Impact. He's doing what he loves, and that's wrestling.
Exactly.
Just like these guys here tonight.
Exactly. If it's in North Shields or New Jersey, it doesn't make a difference.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more. Quite similar North Shields in New Jersey, actually, when you think about it. There's a similar clientele,
I'm
isn't
waiting for how they're similar. Do they both have a premiere?
They both have a premiere. Here we go. He's going to take his head off.
It's been a very strange evening.
It's been a very strange evening, to say the least. And not only has there been fancy dresses, there's been double crosses, there's been Tim attacking Wayne, Wayne having to defend himself, Damien coming to his aid, and then for Damien's match, it's not even the real Damien, it's Ryan in disguise. I literally don't know what's going on.
But
this
then
is crazy.
we had the dark match as well, which was ended up in apple bobbing. For some
Happy
reason.
Halloween, folks.
I don't know how you get disqualified from an apple bobbing competition, but it happened, and we have to move on from it.
Yeah, absolutely, it's mad. I mean, is apple bobbing Halloween? Is that an Halloween trope?
Yes, I think so, yeah.
More of an American.
Yeah, I think it is. We'll be having a Thanksgiving showdown next.
Oh, can you imagine? Someone has to wear a turkey suit. Didn't Impact do that for like 3 or 4 years? Like the Turkey Bowl match, where the loser has to wear a turkey suit.
Oh,
it was like a reoccurring thing every November.
It just reminds me of Brooklyn Nine-Nine when Charles Wells said, gobble, 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 gobble.
Speaking of gobble, gobble, Nick nearly gobbled a pin right then.
Almost.
Almost.
I'm rooting for Nick. That's who I'm rooting for.
I love
right
Nick,
now.
and Nick has been a long term. I mean, both Ryan and Nick appear regularly on Spanish Announce Table. Both the wrestlers in the ring are regular guests on our show every Wednesday, Nova Radio 102.5 FM. But, you know, when you've got two regular guests that you know personally fighting, I mean, it's going to have to be Nick that we side with. After his tag team partner, Damien, who Ryan is dressed up as tonight, just came and saved Wayne. We're in debt to the Ashen brothers.
Yeah.
And I know I know Chris is going to be over the moon with that.
Oh, he is, definitely. And they'll be the first two wrestlers into the Spanish Announce Table Hall of Fame once we have one.
I couldn't agree more. The Ashen brothers, Spanish Announce Table Hall of Famers.
I like the sound of that.
I like that. We should do an end of year thank you to
Presentation.
certain people. Oh, look at this. Oh, snap the neck right back.
That was a great move. He's got the
Yeah.
pin, yeah, has to.
Do you know what? That leg hung neck
Oh, he
breaker
got
is
the
so
arm.
dangerous because not only does it whip the neck round in the spine, you get muscle damage and spinal curvature as well, plus the fall and the slam to the mat. That is a very dangerous move. So hats off to him for kicking out of that.
It was a very impactful move. Took a lot out of both of them.
That's the thing, though. Yeah, was it worth it? I love a good swinging neck breaker. Do you know when Elias does it and he whips them round? I think it looks great. Good
I
old-fashioned.
just love Elias. I really
He is
do.
really good.
I really
He's
like
like
him.
an old school 1989 WWF superstar. He would have fit in great in 1989.
Do you know who he reminds me of? Randy Savage.
Oh, me too. Looks just like him.
Yeah, he does.
Just like him. Yeah.
And I seen
yeah.
a documentary about Randy Savage, and I thought, do you know what? That is Elias. So
It's
that's
just
where
like
they
him.
should be trying to push Elias.
And they've got the same body shape, haven't
Yeah.
they? The like muscly, mesomorphic body type. Do you know who also reminds me a little bit of Randy Savage? And you'll laugh, but in the face. It's Austin Aries, but just in the face.
Yes.
But
yeah.
if you don't look
I
at the
know
body,
where
but
you mean. Yeah.
That same like stirred, business. Kind of love myself, but I'm good, but I know it. Just that look about him. It just, even though Austin Aries and Savage couldn't be further apart in terms of
Yeah.
in-ring content, something there just reminds me of him.
I don't know if it's the charisma with Elias and Savage.
Yeah,
like they're
definitely.
on par for having the same. If he loses the guitar and the scarf,
Yeah.
then he is.
They've got the audience eating out the palm of their hand,
Yeah.
haven't they? Remember when, it was Nuclear Heat, the insult your local sports team that he did with Kevin Owens 6 months ago, or maybe a year
Yeah.
ago? That was nuclear, organic, white heat.
Oh, it was, yeah.
You know, that was, and then they turned in babyface. Well done, WWE, but, you know, not what I'd personally done.
It's more so WWE just telling you what to think and who to cheer and who to boo, as per usual.
That's the thing. It's never organic these days. When someone organically, genuinely gets over, they should roll with it and they should just
Oh,
let it
they
happen.
really should. They really should.
Yeah.
I think the only time they did that was with Kofi.
Yeah,
They-
that's like,
it didn't seem like they wanted to put him over.
no, of
but
course
they
not.
did.
I think they'd have been stupid not to have done.
Yeah.
And with Daniel Bryan to a degree as well. Oh, what a slam!
I think they built Daniel Bryan up to be loved by the fans. So
Yes,
I
they
think they
did.
were always in control of that
Do you know
situation.
what? I think they like to think they were.
Yeah.
I think that's the story they like to tell. I think really they wanted Randy Orton versus Batista deep down.
Yeah. The moment they realised was when Daniel Bryan was in the ring and the fans were just absolutely going
and they
mad.
just wouldn't drop it. And they were like, "No, we want Randy Orton versus
Yeah.
Batista." No, we
Not
don't.
happening.
Yeah.
As
Interesting.
soon
both-
that year, as soon as I seen Triple H against Daniel Bryan, and then it was going to be the winner faced in the triple threat,
He's got to win this. Yeah, surely that's the story.
Imagine if he had lost to Triple H in the first
That's
match.
the
It
exact
would've
sort of
just
thing
lost.
WWE do.
Yeah, build someone up that high, then
what
just
they don't like is when the fans don't try to dictate the pace or
Yeah.
try to dictate the narrative. So they're like, "Oh, we're going to do this, give you a glimmer of hope, and then just snatch it away."
Snatch it away.
Yeah. And they do it just like, "Screw you guys." Oh, flatliner!
That
there,
was a
spiked
great
him on his
finish
neck.
there.
Flatliner almost into like a DDT style.
It's over.
Wow.
Damian Black.
Damian Black, or yeah, I guess it was Damian Black and Ryan Rude in disguise.
And we're going to cut to another song now.
I think we should, although I'm quite enjoying this song, Hot by Reckless Love. It's a great song, but we'll cut to some music instead.
If we catch a criminal, when we catch a criminal, there's nothing we can do but play cops and robbers, cops and robbers. We want a revolution and we're baying for your blood. We're laying down the law and your name's mud. You like to be a member of the human race. put your curtains down and taste blame Simon. 'Cause he said you got two lives down and one life left. Blame Simon. 'Cause he said you can think better with a hole in your head. Oh, you can think better with a hole in your head. If you got your criminal, when we got your criminal, there's nothing we can do but play cops and robbers, cops and robbers. If we got your criminal, when we got your criminal, there's nothing we can do but play cops and robbers, cops and robbers. Got your revolution, now you're waging war again, marching on the spot when you should have made amends. You say you fight for us, cross your heart and hope to die. You're a bully in the playground, I will hang you out to dry. Blame Simon, 'cause he said you got two lives down and one life left. Blame Simon, he said you can think better with a hole in your head. Oh, you can think better with a hole in your head. If we got you criminal, when we got you criminal, there's nothing we can do but play cops and robbers, cops and robbers. If we got you criminal, there's nothing we can do but play cops and robbers, cops and robbers. If we got you criminal, against the wall and shoot the players, put your pinky rings up to the moon. Girls, what y'all trying to do? 24 karat magic in the air. Head to toe, so player. Look out. Pop, pop, it's showtime. Showtime, showtime, showtime. Guess who's back again? Oh, they don't know. Oh, they don't know. I bet they know as soon as we walk in. Showed up, I'm wearing Cuban links, designer mix, Inglewood's finest shoes. Don't look too hard, might hurt yourself. Known to give the color red the blues. I'm a dangerous man with some money in my pocket. Keep up. So many pretty girls around me and they're waking up the rocket. Keep up. Why you mad? Fix your face. Ain't my fault they all be jacking. Keep up. Players only. Come on, put your pinky rings up to the moon. Girls, what y'all trying to do? 24 karat magic in the air.
us back at Spanish Announce Table Nova Radio, and we're here for an exciting match here at Maximum Pro Wrestling, the main event of the first half. It's Daryl, and he's taken on Ragnar. Daryl all the way from Glasgow tonight. Fans and performers coming from all across the UK to Maximum Pro tonight. And of course, next to me, as always, Mr. Damien Stone, the sharply dressed Mr. Damien Stone, by the way. Fantastic. Somebody had said to me, it was the ring announcer, Mr. Andrew Newton, who had said to me, he says, who is that sharp-dressed man, that man in the corner, that man in the red jacket?
Well, he certainly draws a lot of attention.
He
to
does,
himself
he
wearing
does,
a
yeah.
bright red jacket in the middle of North Shields.
Fair play to him, fair play to him.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm getting flashbacks of gorgeous Jimmy Garvin here, always talking to sharp dressed man, you know.
Yeah.
Well,
And that's better that you said that than you were getting flashbacks of Nam or something. Then we'd be in serious trouble.
I tell you, getting back to this match, I tell you, this is the first time I've had the chance to see Daryl Costello here. This,
Fantastic!
I mean, I've seen Ragnar before, but I think Daryl's got his work cut out for him tonight.
Oh, I think he does. Yeah, absolutely. Ragnar was on the show last week, and he told us. He says, "I make a connection with the fans the minute I arrive at the venue," and you can see that he is a favorite. You can see the audience love this man.
Oh yeah, I mean it's without a doubt, and I mean when Daryl came out here before, he was messing with the fans a little bit, and he was he was antagonising the same kids that Ragnar's got that connection with.
Yeah.
As you've just seen, Ragnar's just been on the outside asking a bunch of kids whether he wants them to go and kick his head in. So as you see, we start the match. We've got Daryl just kicking the hell out. Oh, back up again.
This is an absolutely phenomenal match, and it just tells us all about how great the talent is here in both the Northeast and further afield in British wrestling. I know people like Babyface and the app and whatnot will be watching this very closely, but also, Andrew, it has to be said, Andrew, that as a promoter for Northside Frontier Wrestling, there's another plug as the crowd applaud Ragnar. He's making his presence known. This has got to be something that you're watching as well as a talent
like
scout.
A hawk.
Yeah.
I try to go to as many different shows as I can, or I'm able to, and this is just like a smorgasbord for me.
Yes.
There's so many people I haven't seen for quite a while. It's nice to see how they've developed. Obviously, we've got this cultaholic-induced, the Intercontinental Champion of the Northeast, Ragnar.
That's it, yeah, absolutely.
I don't know where they came up with that, but
I'll tell you,
there.
Any publicity is good publicity, as Ragnar said himself last week on the show. And in fact, actually, as he was saying next to Gia Adams on the show last week, he says that some people took it as a slide when Tom Campbell mentioned about that Intercontinental title. But actually, let's be honest, it's about positive. Yeah.
It is,
absolutely. Yeah. And in many respects,
it's title. It's like calling the workhorse of the Northeast.
Exactly.
And
that's
fair,
exactly.
I think Ragnar gets through pretty much all of the promotions in the Northeast.
And further afield as well.
I think gets himself all the way down to
West
Rise
Yorkshire,
and Leeds, Target over in Carlisle, and even further afield.
There are fewer performers I know who have been around consistently, working harder, longer. I mean, H.C. Drake maybe comes to mind, but I mean, even with Drake, that's kind of like, he's been going 16, 17 years. So I mean, Ragnar is pretty much like he's chalking up the numbers.
He is, yeah.
He's definitely catching up, and I mean, I've known Ragnar for quite some time, even back before when I was training myself, and the man's had some few setbacks in his career, and where he's come.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, I mean, he had a stroke.
Yeah, absolutely.
He had no feeling down one side of his body, and now he's just back in fighting fit condition.
And it's amazing because it's funny that you talk about that, because we talked about that briefly on the show last week, and that sort of took me by surprise as Daryl takes Ragnar by surprise into the turnbuckle.
That was a nasty kick.
I think he may have lost feeling somewhere else at the moment.
I think he has, yeah, absolutely.
I think that's called cell division.
Indeed. It's funny though, actually, because I have to be honest, like, when you're talking about a performer like Ragnar, actually, it took me by surprise. Ragnar has talked about actually retiring, not wanting to do this beyond a certain age, and wanting to actually go out gracefully, if you like. And would you kind of, want to be in a position to get him in Northside for like his final ever match?
Definitely. The thing is, when you think of Ragnar, you think of like the biggest stars And the biggest stars in the sky are the ones that burn brightest and are the ones that burn out the fastest. So
absolutely,
I mean,
absolutely.
If he wants to just hang up his boots and call it a day, he could do it tomorrow, and he'd still have an absolutely phenomenal legacy.
Oh,
I think it would be an absolute shame if he did, because he's still got plenty more gas in the tank.
I think if he did, I think we even have a situation where Ragnar could be the general manager of like Northeast Wrestling. We need a GM, really, don't we? We need that kind
We need
of
somebody to police every single promotion.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, like, so if you're talking about someone who's going to assert the control and assert their dominance, it's going to be Ragnar.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And
that's how curse of the commentator. He just got hung up over the ropes by Mr. Costello there.
That's it. And Darryl really looking to exert his effect on the crowd tonight, letting them know that
lovely
he might.
neck breaker from Darryl.
That's it. Goes for the count. Ben Stewart only getting to 2, maybe 2.5, letting the audience know. But really, you've got to imagine with Darryl that he may not be the odds-on favorite, but it's in his best interest to let everyone know he's here and he wants to get this done. He wants to make an impression.
To impress down here. We've got, obviously myself, I promote down here.
Phenomenal response from the audience.
Sat in the crowd. We've got Jay Prime from NXT UK, head trainer of Battle Ready. He's also watching, so there's plenty of people that are impressed in this room.
That's incredible. I tell you something. And it's incredible because there's an audience here tonight who really knows what they like. They're making it happen.
So he's got the head numb.
Yeah, that's it. No, you go for it, man. Oh well, someone's shouting in the crowd that there's a leg on the rope. Now there is a leg on the rope.
There is. Yep.
I think they were encouraging Ragnar to put the leg on the rope for the advantage.
Quite possibly, yeah.
And so Ragnar, of course, using his wit to say, somebody in the audience wants me to put my leg on the rope. That's exactly what I'm going to do.
Yeah. Ring awareness and the help of the audience.
That's it. Yeah. And that's, of course, something that Ragnar, the audience are like a sort of a manager to him, whereas Darryl doesn't have that help, is in foreign territory.
Yep.
Quite literally.
All on his own behind enemy lines.
His brain's nutted out.
That said, though, I got a Scottish
straight
fiver.
away, the box cutter from Ragnar.
Yeah.
Oh.
I am. No, Ragnar goes for it, but
Wisely
Darryl
rolls out the ring. That has put many a man in the Northeast away, that box cutter from Ragnar.
I'll tell you something right now. I mean, Darryl shouldn't be too upset because I got a Scottish fiver at the bar when I ordered this evening. Maybe Darryl would like to take it. I mean, it's legal tender in his country, so that would be.
I'm sure you'll find some use for it.
Make sure the ink wasn't still wet.
Well, it had a salmon on it as well. It looked really nice. It looks quite festive, really. Not Halloween festive, but certainly it looked nice. It had a nice design.
Well, it's a Halloween tradition up there. Take a salmon or two.
Ragnar asking.
Promising the crowd he's going to kick his head in.
That's it. He's asking
with
some of the.
He's got to finish him off now.
Yep. Oh, he's been caught.
Oh, there we go. And Darryl taking Ragnar down with a flatliner, but just a 2, just barely a 2, really.
Yeah.
I mean, Ragnar getting all the strength to get out of there.
Put Nick Gray down in the last match.
Yeah. He's disagreeing with the count there. Is Darryl?
No, he's not. He's not wanting to accept it.
Yep.
Probably because those pants he's wearing are quite hot or something, and they've become very leathery and they're sticking to his skin. And he wants this match to be over under the lights. Really, it's becoming uncomfortable at this stage. I imagine.
I think he's making a beeline for. Nope.
Now
he's got a spanner.
He's got
it looks as though he has a foreign object. It looks like a spanner, but I very much doubt he's going to do any mechanic work.
Yeah, definitely.
And he gets into
not.
the ring with the spanner. Ben Stewart fighting with Darryl, taking the spanner off the foreign object. Ragnar setting him up, and we're going for it. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, that's a good one.
Takes him down with that the F5 there.
Straight in. A
Ragnar
decisive win.
is victorious.
Intercontinental Champion of the Northeast, Mr. Ragnar. And I think we'll go to take a break. Thank you for joining us once again. Keep it here. Watch the feed.
Homegrown alligator, see you later. Gotta hit the road, gotta hit the road. Something changed in the atmosphere, architecture unfamiliar. I could get used to this. Time flies by in the yellow and green. Stick around and you'll see what I mean. There's a mountain top that I'm dreaming of. If you need me, you know where I'll be. I'll be riding shotgun underneath the hot sun, feeling like a someone. I'll be riding shotgun underneath the hot sun, feeling like a someone. We're south of the equator, navigator. Gotta hit the road, gotta hit the road. Deep sea diving round the clock, bikini bottoms, lager tops. I could get used to this. Time flies by in the yellow and green. Stick around and you'll see what I mean. There's a mountain top that I'm dreaming of. If you need me, you know where I'll be. I'll be riding shotgun underneath the hot sun, feeling like a someone. I'll be riding shotgun underneath the hot sun, feeling like a someone. We got two in the front, two in the back, sailing along, and we don't look back. Time flies by in the yellow and green. Stick around and you'll see what I mean. There's a mountain top that I'm dreaming of. If you need me, you know where I'll be. I'll be riding shotgun underneath the hot sun, feeling like a someone. I'll be riding shotgun underneath the hot sun, feeling like a someone. I'll be riding shotgun underneath the hot sun, feeling like a someone. I'll be riding shotgun.
And so we're back for this interval at Maximum Pro Wrestling here in North Shields, enjoying the crowd and the audience and the ambience. And I know Damien Stone, you'll be rushing back to the studio for Other Humanities from 10 o'clock live.
Yep, I'll be getting there as quickly as humanly possible.
Massively commitment there. But we've still got a bit of action to come up in the second half. In the meantime, we're going to take a short commercial break in terms of some of our best commercials, that is the music. And we'll be back very soon in about 10-15 minutes for an actual bit more wrestling. But of course, out there live, don't forget that you can still watch the streaming video as we broadcast over across the Spanish announce table, Maximum Pro Wrestling, and indeed Nova Radio Northeast Facebook. And get in touch. Yeah.
I mean, what a second off we got as well. I mean, like the very good Mr. UNG Matty and
yes.
And Matty Mayhem. It's going to be an absolute
and of course, absolutely, Damien Black fighting for Spanish announce table's reputation against that scoundrel Tim Strange. Okay,
Yep.
better go.
Yep.
But we'll come back to you very, very soon. Enjoy.
This is Nova Radio Northeast.
Tear out the pages
kiss my lips, light as a feather. And it went just like this. No, it's never been better than the summer of 2002. We were only 11, but acting like grown-ups, like we are in the present. Drinking from plastic cups, singing love is forever and never. Well, I guess that was true. Dancing on the hood in the middle of the woods of an old Mustang, where we sang songs with all our childhood friends. And it went like this, say, oops, I got 99 problems singing bye, bye, bye. Hold up, if you wanna go and take a ride with me, better hit me, baby, one more time. Paint a picture for you and me on the days when we were young, singing off the top of both our lungs. Now we're under the covers. Fast forward to 18, we are more than lovers. Yeah, we are all we need when we're holding each other. I'm taken back to 2002. Yeah, dancing on the hood in the middle of the woods of an old Mustang, where we sang songs with all our childhood friends. And it went like this, say, oops, I got 99 problems singing bye, bye, bye. Hold up, if you wanna go and take a ride with me, better hit me, baby, one more time. Paint a picture for you and me on the days when we were young, singing off the top of both our lungs on the day we fell in love. On the day we fell in love. Dancing on a hood in the middle of the woods of an old Mustang, where we sang songs with all our childhood friends. Oh, now, oops, I got 99 problems singing bye, bye, bye. Hold up, if you wanna go and take a ride with me, better hit me, baby, one more time. Paint a picture for you and me on the days when we were young, singing at the top of both our lungs on the day we fell in love. 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 On the day we fell in love.
When I was 6 years old, I broke my leg. And I was running from my brother and his friends, and tasted the sweet perfume of the mountain grass I rolled down. I was younger then. Take me back to when I found my heart, broke it here, made friends and lost them through the years. And I've not seen the boring fields in so long. I know I've grown, but I can't wait to go home. I'm on my way, driving at 90 down those country lanes, singing to Tiny Dancer, and I miss the way you make me feel. It's real. We watch the sunset over the castle lonely hill. 15 years old and smoking hand-rolled cigarettes, running from the law through the backfields and getting drunk with my friends. Had my first kiss on a Friday night. I don't reckon that I did it right, but I was younger then. Take me back to when we found weekend jobs, when we got paid. We'd buy cheap spirits and drink them straight. Me and my friends have not thrown so long, oh how we've grown. But I can't wait to go home. I'm on my way, driving at 90 down those country lanes, singing to Tiny Dancer, and I miss the way you make me feel. It's real. We watch the sunset over the castle on the hill. Over the castle on the hill. Over the castle on the hill. One friend left to sell clothes, one works down by the coast, one had 2 kids but lives alone, one's brother overdosed, one's already on his 2nd wife, one's just barely getting by, but these people raised me and I can't wait to go home, and I'm on my way. I still remember these old country lanes when we did not know the answers, and I miss the way you make me feel. It's real. We watch the sunset over the castle on the hill. Over the castle on the hill. Over the castle on the hill.
Well, my heart knows it better than I know myself, so I'm gonna let it do all the talking. I came across a place in the middle of nowhere with a big black horse and a cherry tree. I felt a little fear upon my back. I said, don't look back, just keep on walking. But the big black horse said, look this way. He said, hey, that day, will you marry me? But I said, no, 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 no. I said, no, no, you're not the one for me. No, 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 no. I said, no, no, you're not the one for me. And my heart hit a problem in the early hours, so I stopped it dead for a beat or 2. But I cut some cord and I shouldn't have done it, and it won't forgive me after all these years. rock this place. What is he like? What's he like anyway? Yo, man, what do you expect? The guy's a gigolo, man. You know what I mean? My money man, you win my love. The sweetness that I'm thinking of. We always hanging up buffalo stands. We do the dive every time we dance. I give you love, baby, not romance. I make a move, nothing left to chance. So don't get fresh with me. Wind on my face, sound in my ears, water for my eyes, and you in my mind. As I sing, diving down deep, deeper into your soul. My money man, you win my love. The sweetness that I'm thinking of. My money man, you win my love. The sweetness that I'm thinking of. No money man, you win my love. No money man, you win my
Come stop your crying, it will be alright. Just take my hand, hold it tight. I will protect you from all around you. I will be here, don't you cry. For one so small, you seem so strong. My arms will hold you, keep you safe and warm. This bond between us can't be broken. I will be here, don't you cry. 'Cause you'll be in my heart. Yes, you'll be in my heart. From this day on, now and forevermore. You'll be in my heart, no matter what they say. You'll be here in my heart, always. Why can't they understand the way we feel? They just don't trust what they can't explain. I know we're different, but deep inside us, we're not that different at all. And you'll be in my heart. Yes, you'll be in my heart. From this day on, now and forevermore. Don't listen to them, 'cause what do they know? We need each other to have to hold. They'll see in time. I know when destiny calls you, you must be strong. I may not be with you, but you got to hold on. They'll see in time. I know we'll show them together, 'cause you'll be in my heart. Believe me, you'll be.
So here we are, back again for another brilliant wrestling match. Obviously, Matty Mayhem, the Chaos Champion in the ring, a regular guest on Spanish Announce Table. Love Matty, what a sound guy.
I was just about to say, you've got to love Matty Mayhem.
Oh, what a dude, man.
Matty
I
two
love-
belts now.
Matty two belts, yeah, so he's the Chaos Champion. He's also got another championship as well. His opponent, on the other hand, what a douche, man. He was coming out here, going to give children high fives and pulling his hand away. There are literally children in tears in the audience here. Here he is, berating the audience right now, taking the mick out of everybody here. He's made the audience feel dreadful in his rip-off Adam Cole t-shirt and his Pikachu trousers.
Not just that, it's Pikachu on his trousers
Yeah.
as well.
Love a good Pokemon reference. I think
Yeah.
he's going to get caught like a Pokemon when he gets in the ring with Matty, though. Do you know one of the things I love about Matty? He's the only guy I know that can put off cowboy boots and luminous green hair and look like the man whilst doing it.
Oh, definitely. A few shows ago, I heard somebody heckle him saying that he was just a pro CM
Punk,
and he
yeah,
went,
I've
yeah,
heard
I'll
that.
take that.
Yeah, do you know what?
He was like, I'll take that.
I give my left eyeball to be called a rip-off
Yeah,
CM Punk,
exactly.
so I don't think that's necessarily a bad
Exactly.
thing. Here we go, look at him.
It should be a really good match.
No, it should be a lot of fun. Have you been watching NWA Power recently, James?
I haven't actually watched it, you know.
It's so
I
good.
really need to.
It's my
It's
cup
your
of tea.
go-to.
It's my go-to. I always like to compare AEW Dark and Power because they're both free shows on YouTube
Yeah.
that air at the same time.
Right.
So for me, the best weekly wrestling show is NWA Power. It's the old school wrestling 80s style that I like. And then if you want the more sort of less story, more spots, you've got All Elite Wrestling. So there's something for everybody right now. And if you like rubbish storylines, you've got WWE. So
I feel like you've fallen out of love quite a bit with the WWE.
I haven't. I do. I did earlier this year, big time. I think 1995 was bad, but in 1995 I was a kid, so I lapped it up.
Yeah.
I think between 2008 and 2011 it was bad. I think it was as bad, if not worse, in April, May, June of this year. But since then, I'm not going to lie, they've turned it around. I'm heavily invested in the product. I think the in-ring content for the most part is great, especially Raw recently, some really good stuff. It's easy to become a disenfranchised fan and overlook all the good and focus on the bad. I try not to do that. A couple of months ago, it was hard not to do that, but I think it's in a better place now, and they're not where they need to be, but they're building steps in the right direction, and it's all on the right trajectory right now.
Oh, definitely. I'm looking forward to seeing what they can come up with next, but it's a turnaround time. That's what it is for them. They're trying to make improvements, and it's not going to happen overnight.
Exactly. It's the first step in the building process for WWE in building back the fans' trust. And I think they're doing a great job. NXT, for the most part, is superb. Again, I'm not a fan, dare I say, of the indie style where it's spots over story.
Yeah.
When they're not selling properly. I've heavily criticised that Adam Cole, Matt Riddle match. Maybe I was a bit overly harsh with it in terms of the lack of selling. I feel it takes you out of it as a fan. I feel it can be a bit disrespectful.
I didn't actually see that. So what was it? Matt Riddle against
Adam Cole for the NXT title. The sequences were beautifully executed.
Yeah.
The moves looked crisp. So on face value, it was a good match. But it was just little things like no selling, signature moves and finishes being kicked out of left, right, and centre.
Yeah.
And it just didn't flow.
I'm not a fan of finishers being kicked out of multiple
It's
times.
my pet hate.
The only time I appreciated it was the curb stomp Rollins was doing to the Fiend.
I love that. I'm
when
not
he
gonna
had
lie.
to do it 20 odd times,
Yeah.
and
Do
literally.
you know what? I don't mind it at a WrestleMania or maybe the odd SummerSlam. You can kick
Yeah.
out of a finisher. But if it's all the time on a takeover or a pay-per-view, it devalues the move and it just dampens the aura that the wrestler has.
It really does. I don't think a finisher really means a finisher anymore.
No, and that's a shame. That's why I love like the Pro Wrestling Noah, All Japan, and to a degree New Japan, where finishers really mean something. Whoa, did you see that then? In the ring, Matty Mayhem. What did he just smash over his head?
A
was
packet
it?
of crisps.
It was a packet of crisps.
Yeah,
I thought
it was a packet of crisps.
Looks like what's
To be fair, he got Matty with a packet before.
He did, to be
So
fair.
it's karma. Crispy karma.
Crispy karma. Matty's so creative with his offense, isn't he? He's got that indie style, but he's rough and ready to go. He's not afraid to mix it up with weapons either.
Oh,
is Matty?
exactly. It's been a very hardcore start in the match.
No, absolutely. I mean, he's brawling in the crowd. Got a chair over the.
No, he was just putting it down.
He's
That
putting
looked
it down.
very dramatic.
It did. What's he doing now? He's got Matty positioned on a chair. I wasn't going to do play-by-play, but this match is hard to do. Oh, and there he goes, taking the mick, jesting him, ribbing him. That's psychological damage to Matty when he thinks he's going to get kicked in the face. He's going to have an adrenaline rush, and it's not going to be good. It's going to put the frighteners on him. Ooh. Sickening thud there as he punches him in the back.
It looks like they're looking to set something up here.
Yeah, they are. Something
I think
horrible's gonna
Matty's
happen.
going to make a table out of those chairs.
It's going to be mayhem.
I like what you did there.
Here we go. So for those, I don't know if the audience can see it at home, but Matty's made like a plateau of steel chairs. Hits him in the head with a balloon. But no, I recommend. The great thing with wrestling now is it really is something for everyone. If you like your traditional wrestling, you've got NWA Power. If you like your Spot Fest, you've got All Elite, NXT in between, and Raw is on the up at the minute as well. Oh, he's going to do a power slam onto the chairs.
Here we
No
go.
way. No, he's not. Oh, jeez!
Ooh.
You hear that thud, James?
Yeah.
That must have cracked a rib.
It's got to have. I don't think he's finished with him just yet either. He's back in the ring.
This is awesome. Do you know what? I'm really, really jealous of the guys watching at home, live on Facebook or on YouTube or on the other social media platforms, getting to watch this top quality local wrestling from the northeast of England. Obviously, if anyone is watching this right now live, drop some comments. If you can like the video, and if you're really enjoying what you're hearing and what you're seeing, please share this video on your channel, social media. It would do so much for us here at Spanish Against Table Wrestling Show, and also for Maximum Pro Wrestling, which is the wrestling you're watching right now. It would just do so much for the local wrestling scene here. If anyone watching could share this video that you're watching.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's the first wrestling broadcast at an event that I've ever seen or heard of.
I don't know. I can't think off the top of my head.
Especially in the northeast.
Certainly in the northeast local wrestling scene. I'm not going to lie, I only moved here a couple of years ago. I think I've got quite a comprehensive knowledge of the scene anyway. But as far as I'm aware, this is the first. But again, we could be wrong there, James.
Let's hope it's the start of something great.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the more people do things like this, and the more people...
It's all about exposure.
Yeah,
isn't it?
exactly, yes. Shine a spotlight on local wrestling, like Maximum Pro Wrestling we're at tonight. You know, the more spotlight it's going to put on the wrestlers like Matty that we're watching tonight. Oh! That was a flying genitalia to the face. I'm not going to use the word that he used on air, but I'll let you guys use your imagination.
Those moves are certainly hard to kick out of.
They are, and that's the thing. Not only are they impactful and they damage the muscular tissue, but they also wind you. And the problem is when you're trying to get up when you're winded, it's 10 times as hard. Doing anything, brushing your teeth when you're winded is harder. And then getting up, it's hard. It might not look effective, but taking the wind out of someone's lungs and debilitating them is the key to winning a wrestling match.
I think it's the level of embarrassment as well.
Oh, yeah. And when it's mind games like that, feeling embarrassed, feeling exposed in the ring, imagine what that's going to be doing for Matty's normally cool and collected psyche.
Oh, definitely. It's like you said before, it's the mind games.
Absolutely. Nice senton splash there.
Matty's been very close to losing his title a couple
very,
of times.
very close. But when he does kick out, it's with passion, it's with energy. It's with everything Matty does is jam-packed full of energy. And does he want to savour his energy? Does he want to not muster his strength a little bit and try and keep some back? I don't know. Oh, judging by the impact of that knee, I guess not. Nice bulldog there. Cover.
2 again. A very good and eventful match so far.
Absolutely. Yeah. Hey, Andy.
Hello.
How are you?
I've been floating around a lot recently.
Oh, it's fine. Straight
The
on.
microphone's definitely in the on position.
That's why we've kept the spare seat just for you to come in and.
So for those
do your thing.
those listening at home, Andrew Newton from NSFW has just come and joined us on the announcing booth. Always a pleasure.
Yeah, I joined Wayne in Cool before.
Yeah, I saw.
So this is the second lot of commentary we're going through, and it's got to be between 2 of my top guys, between
Yeah.
Matty Mayhem and Nicky Starr. Always love it when these 2 guys.
Nicky Starr's such a bizarre character. He's the only one I know who has an Adam Cole t-shirt and Pikachu Pokemon.
Trunks.
I mean, this guy has some wacky costumes, doesn't he?
That's a Nicky
isn't it?
Starr t-shirt. Nicky Starr.
What
obviously
exactly
one
is
half
he
of the
wearing
Cosplay
there?
Kings.
What exactly is that, the Bebe t-shirt? Because we were discussing this earlier.
We
What
thought
is
it was
the
an
design?
Adam Cole
Yeah, we
t-shirt.
did, but then we were saying it's not, though, is it?
It's not the exact Adam Cole.
It's loosely based on it.
It's a parody.
Influenced.
That's what we thought it
heavily
might have
influenced,
been.
But it's a parody.
What does it say?
In the middle.
What was it? Oh. I'm going to have to turn around and I'll use my hawk-like vision.
Just try and get it.
I was going to say, he's still got
I
it
think
on,
it's
but
I think it's hip toss, baby.
that would make sense.
There
There we go.
Obviously-
Riling up the audience.
Yeah,
hip
it is.
toss.
Hip toss, baby, yeah.
Hip toss,
Um,
baby. See it, stunner.
Obviously,
But Lucas was
obviously
saying-
Nicky Starr is half of the cosplay kings who do
They
a
are.
lot of
Yeah.
parodying.
And their
um,
outfits that the cosplay Klings wear,
Yeah.
their costumes are like next level. When I get the reference, it's hilarious.
Yeah. It really
Obviously, Assassin had a whole bunch of merch. He parodied the John Cena Rise Above Hate with Pies Above Hate, which I thought was absolutely brilliant.
And with the size of the gentleman as well, it's a very fitting T-shirt, literally.
Yeah. Well, he's built in fun size. I think we all are.
Lucas was saying
this is
before
obviously
about,
half of the Cosplay Kings versus half of Anarchy Inc. And
oh yeah.
well,
A lot of
recently
tag
on
team
a-
connotations here in this
Yeah.
match.
The funny thing is, amongst the tag teams, 3 big tag teams in the Northeast, being the Rogues Gallery, Anarchy Inc. and the Cosplay Kings, has been somewhat of a triangle going on. So the first time round,
Because they
the Rogue-
trade victories, don't they, these
they've
guys?
traded victories, but what's really weird is we've had sort of 5 out of the 6 matches so far. So Anarchy Inc. and the Rogues Gallery have both traded wins.
Yeah.
And the Rogues Gallery and the Cosplay Kings have both traded wins. The only match which isn't happening is the rematch between Anarchy Inc. and the Cosplay Kings. The current result is Anarchy Inc. 1-0 up against the Cosplay Kings. So,
any insights to when we might see that match?
I don't know, to be fair. I would have loved to have booked it for the next show, but unfortunately, Anarchy Inc. they aren't available because they're down at, I think they're down south at Immortal.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, Anarchy Inc.
Awesome.
They get themselves quite around for 2 lads out the northeast.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
get themselves down to Leeds.
Certainly got a name
Wales,
for themselves.
And even further, I believe it's Immortals based down in Plymouth.
I mean, that is right on the south
So
coast.
that
isn't
is,
it? That's, that's
that
Hampshire.
is-
That's a long way from here.
That is the opposite end of the country.
Love Plymouth.
I know it's pretty far away, but unfortunately,
Plymouth is in. Plymouth's in Devon. Sorry, so that is a.
it's
quite a journey from here.
it's
The
at the
beautiful
opposite
Devonshire
end of the country.
countryside.
Oh, it's a fair track. It
It
really
is.
is. Could we be looking at a 3-way tag team match at some point? Between the
Knowing
3
you guys,
tag
there'd be a
teams?
crazy stipulation as well.
If I were to book it, I would definitely book some form of triple threat tag team match to get, a once and for all the best tag team in the Northeast.
Do you reckon we can see a ladder match between the 3 of them?
Definitely not at Martin.
Not in here.
I don't think you've seen my venue yet, Lucas.
Is the ceiling lower than this one?
In places, yes, but also, it's a bit like a zigzag for acoustics. I'm using air quotation,
Yes.
because this is obviously on the
Big
on
air
the radio.
quotations.
Marks, for acoustics. So, the roof isn't exactly level. It's like wrestling in some like crazy house. Oh, near fall there from Nicky Starr.
Of all the crazy stories, all the wild stipulations, the over-the-top characters, and top quality wrestling that I hear from your promotion, one of the stories that always sticks with me is what everyone talks about, and that's your mother's cooking.
Right, now that isn't a story, that is legend, and it is also very much true.
Do you care to tell the people listening at home just about
If
what
you
they're going to
feed
get when they
people's-
come?
If you feed people's bellies, they will come. My mum always puts out hot dogs, which is pretty much a staple of any Northeast promotion. But my mum goes above and beyond.
Sorry to
Normally
cut you
like
off here,
pull
Andy. We
people,
just
pull,
nearly
pull.
saw him cheat with the championship in the middle of the ring.
It's the Chaos title, so
Exactly.
For the Chaos
Well,
title, it's only
yeah.
a little bit
more
flexible.
relaxed rules.
Oh, I'm going to have to go.
What?
Matty gets the win.
And Matt even retains the championship.
I love how he just switches it from one to the other.
I thought he was going to pick the wrong microphone up then. What a match. Well done, Matty. We knew you had it in the back, dude.
Great match, and we'll be right back after this next song.
Adios, amigos.
This is Nova Radio Northeast.
You cool your bed warm hands down on the broken radiator. And when you lay them freezing on me, I mumble, can you wake me later? But I don't really want you to stop, and you know it so it doesn't stop you. And run your hands from my neck to my chest. Crack the shutters open wide, I wanna bathe you in the light of day. And just watch you as the rays tangle up around your face and body. once again. Crack the shutters open wide, I wanna bathe you in the light of day. And just watch you as the rays tangle up around your face and body. I could sit for hours finding new ways to be on each minute. 'Cause the daylight seems to want you just as much as I want you. Crack the shutters open wide, I wanna bathe you in the light of day. And just watch you as the rays tangle up around your face and body. I could sit for hours finding new ways to be on each minute. 'Cause the daylight seems to want you just as much as I want you. You remember the light and the flame? It was a birthday party of someone. And then you told me your name. Said you were one in a million. I wanna get lost with you. It's the only thing I wanna do. Get out of my mind with you. So come on over. I walked you home in the rain, speaking the same language. You were running around in my brain. Then you sent me a message. You said, I wanna get lost with you. It's the only thing I wanna do. Get out of my mind with you. So come on over.
Guys, I mean, I don't blame these fans for booing Tim after how he came out, attacked our own Wayne Madden, came on to Spanish and Ink table earlier, attacked us all. If not for Wayne standing up for us and Damien in the ring right now, but Wayne would have been knocked out and so would we. I don't blame these fans for booing that idiot Tim Strange. I say no way Nova Scotia to this guy.
Yep.
I just hope Damien kicks this guy's head in.
Yeah, I mean, I've always had the utmost respect for Damien Black, and you know, and tonight he is.
He's our saviour tonight.
He is.
Damien Black is fighting not just for this promotion. He's fighting for us here at Spanish Announce Table Wrestling Show. Damien Black is a regular guest on Nova Radio 102.5 FM on a regular basis, helping to promote the local wrestling scene with his tag team partner from the Ashen Brothers, Nicholas Gray. They both come on together to promote local wrestling and to uplift everybody's spirits, and they fight for our cause at Spanish Announce Table to help promote wrestling. And look at this idiot, Tim Strange, taking the mic, getting physical with us here, attacking us. I don't know where Wayne's gone. He's gone off, upset over what's happened.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's.
I've never seen Wayne this angry before.
I know he's.
Last time I saw Wayne this angry is when we were all out of Fruit Loops in the studio.
it's unreal. I mean, like this guy, this Tim Strange. I mean,
Tim thinks he's great, and you know what? Tim has got a lot of prestigious accolades. He's trained in the Heart Dungeon with, with.
You sure? I thought the only dungeon he'd seen the inside of was a police
No,
cell in Saskatchewan. But yeah.
But the thing is with him, he's self-centered. He's obnoxious. He's ramming this Canadian narrative down our throats.
And
look at him. Constantly berating the fans, constantly belittling Damien, who's gone above and beyond to stick up for us here at Spanish Announce Table. I hope Damien absolutely knocks Tim on his ass tonight.
Yep, likewise. I mean, I know commentary booths normally remain impartial, but this is not going to be one of those cases. Like, it's impossible to remain
Damien,
impartial
I've
against.
always prided myself on calling it down the line and being impartial, highlighting positive and negatives of both.
But there's
I can't do that tonight.
No, not at all.
Get Tim squealing like a pig, like a little girl. Not you, Tim. And look at Dennis on the outside there.
I know
He's like a rat in his suit.
There's something missing there. I can't see any silk gloves on his hands.
Like a knockoff Boris Johnson in a worse suit.
Yeah. It's
Come on, Damien. Look at
He's got a
Damien
nice hammerlock
working
in
the
there,
arm
come
there,
on.
pulling those tendons.
Yep.
Now, Tim is a
Keep it going.
deceptively large man, so normally Damien's got the advantage of being the bigger dude in the ring. He's got that weight advantage, he's got that strength advantage. He doesn't have that against Tim, unfortunately, tonight.
This is unfamiliar territory for him.
It's
Being in there
very
against someone
unfamiliar
larger.
territory for him tonight. I just hope he can pull it out of the bag. Come on, come on.
See that the size of Tim Strange working to his advantage there. But
Tim's the worst of both worlds, because not only is he a massive dude, he's an absolute horrible person as well.
Yeah, it's
the way he came on here, threatened myself, threatened my co-host, to the point where Wayne had to stand up and defend us. I don't know what he would have done to Wayne. Wayne's gone off absolutely furious. This is madness. Just thank God for Damien, who's in the ring now, showing Tim what it's like to be a real wrestler.
He's there. I mean, he's got Tim Strange trapped there in the head scissors. He's got his head on the floor where it belongs.
Very old school British style going on here.
Yeah.
Sort of reminiscent of Rollerball Rocco back in the 80s, Dynamite Kid, great Tiger Mask.
A little bit of a Steve Viador going on there. It's
absolutely. And this is all mind games. If he could get into Tim's head, oh, here we go. I mean, Tim's head's big enough; it shouldn't be too hard to get into.
No, exactly. I mean, I've never seen anyone who was born in the wrong aspect ratio before. But
no, that's true. I just like to see Tim in pain after what he did to Wayne earlier.
Yep. Deserves every bit of
Do
it.
you know what's even more frustrating? His manager, Dennis Donovan, comes on. We've got this new contract with him on Spanish Announce Table. We're meant to report to him. I don't think so. Oh, here he comes.
Who signed that? Who signed that contract?
I don't know. I mean, the station manager, Neil Kipling, we've taken it up with him. I'm waiting to hear back from his agent at the moment. If not, we're going to have a board meeting at some point. This is all very alarming territory for us.
Yes.
Having to report to Donovan, who's right there by the side of this idiot, Tim Strange. I just hope Damien can do something about this tonight.
Whoop.
Here we go.
Here we
on
go.
The apron.
Oh, straight boot to the jaw. Go on. Go on, Damien, sir.
Go on, Damien. Take his head off.
Mind that little gopher on the outside.
Go on. Damien's going to... I was hoping Damien was going to get his hands on Dennis then.
Just for 1 minute, one punch, I can see him being leveled.
Greasy, smarmy rat. I think we have to report to that greasy, smarmy rat, that bossy know-it-all. He's maniacal. And I don't work for maniacal people.
Give over. Grab the leg of Damien Black there. That's stalled enough.
I don't like where this is going, Damien.
No, I'm not a big fan of that in the slightest.
No.
Tim Strange taking advantage of
surfboard stretch there. Oh, here we go. Yes, we know you're a proud Canadian. We're all proud of where we're from. No one's denying that. Is his only defining feature that he was born in North America?
Yeah, I mean, it's Mexico North, isn't it? It's.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Oh, here we go. Placating to the crowd. Being horrible. I've never met a spiteful person as Tim. And what's alarming is that he's big enough, bad enough, and boisterous enough to carry out his spiteful actions.
Exactly. I mean, he's got the size and the ability to back it up. But
unfortunately for us, I'm just fed up with him going on our Facebook page, going on our Twitter, taking the mickey out of us, being borderline offensive, belittling us. All of our listeners at home, he criticises all the time. He's just being horrible to our social media following and to all of our listeners over radio. It's really not fair how he carries on, and I've had enough of it.
I mean, it seems like he's just seems to have a major problem with everybody apart from this gopher here.
Yeah, apart from this gopher in suit. Rolling the rat over there.
Yeah.
It's like Gordon the Gopher covered in grease, except he's not harmless like Gordon the Gopher covered in grease. He's a maniacal lunatic who we've got to now report to. I cannot believe we're in this situation. And now this Tim Strange with this bloody chin lock.
On there and,
it's turning it into a choke. That's a choke.
It is, yeah, that's under the chin.
That's a choke. Come on, ref, that's a choke. It's a choke.
Yep.
This can't be happening. This can't be happening. No.
Oh,
wait, wait. Is that it? I think that's it.
The fingers are twitching, the arms moving.
He's still in it. He's still in it. I thought that was it, dude.
Yeah, I mean that was a close one. That was.
Guys, ragging the neck of him. This is not fair. This is not on.
It's not at all.
And the fans there belittling Tim. I like to hear that.
If you're gonna dish it out, you got to be able to take it.
I don't think I've ever seen a local wrestler with that nuclear white heat with the crowd, where children are crying, people are leaving the venue when he comes on.
Yeah, I mean, it's.
I've seen the amount of things I've seen thrown at Tim. Popcorn, I've seen signs, I've seen beer glasses, I've seen all sorts thrown at Tim. And it's the angry look on the audience faces when they're doing it with such hatred, with such passion, because that's how he makes people feel. That's how he belittles people. That's how he upsets the audience.
I mean, they say hate's a hell of a motivator, but in this case, it's in this case it's justified.
Absolutely, and normally I'd never encourage the fans to throw glasses or drinks or food or anything like that at a wrestler. But when it's Tim and the way he's made them feel and the way he's carried on in the local wrestling scene recently, the guy's deplorable. He really needs banning.
He does. He needs to pay for his actions.
Not only does he need to pay for his actions, he needs to come and say sorry to us here. Spanish and ain't say, but for the way he's treated us here tonight, for the way he's physically attacked Wayne, he would have taken Wayne's head off if not for Damien, who's in the ring now. Exactly. And the way he's carried on our social media platforms recently, constantly shooting us down, constantly insulting our fan base. It's disgusting, and I've had enough of it.
You notice he never turns up in person himself to.
He sends that rodent there.
Yeah.
We've got a core boss now, apparently. I don't think so. That's cheating again.
And again, but just grabbing. Isn't that what started all this? I mean, grabbing the leg. You know, it's
absolute rat. Or like an evil Gordon the Gopher. Do you know what he reminds me of? What was that rat called? It wasn't Roland Rat. It was.
Was it the?
No, I'm thinking of. It reminds me of Basil Brush.
Oh yeah. It's got a bit of penfold going on there.
What's funny is when he's trying to interfere in the match when his belly rolls out of his t-shirt.
Yeah.
He's cheating again. He's got Damien. Look, he's pulling Damien's throat. Come on, referee Ben Stewart, do something about this, man.
As Ben is wearing his glasses, isn't he?
Pardon? Ben, I assume Ben's got his contacts in.
Yeah, I mean, I would hope so.
Referee Ben Stewart is normally one referee who you can depend upon. If that hasn't cracked a rib. He's cracking a rib like it's a summertime barbecue.
Yeah, that's.
This is not on.
It's not it's not on at all.
Damien has been fighting for us all night long. He stood up for us. He stood up for Wayne when Tim attacked him. Oh no, I can't believe this. Shades of Jeff Jarrett there with the stroke. I do not like to watch this.
No. Come on, how is Damien?
Time and time after again. Yes. Do you know what? I was so worried that was the finish then.
That was close.
I was on the edge of my seat then. I do not want this idiot to win this match. And now he's got a chain in his hand. Come on, Ben.
Where did
Ben,
that
he's
come
got
from?
a weapon. Not only has he attacked Wayne tonight, he's now got a weapon in his hand.
That's.
Falling slam.
Go on, Damien. Only a 2 count. Keep on him, son. Keep on
Come
him.
on, Damien.
I,
Fans now throwing more food at the manager at ringside.
it's
Ridiculous manager. Hang on a minute. Is that Wayne? Wayne?
Oh.
Wayne, what are you doing?
Oh.
Wayne. Wayne.
Go on, Wayne.
Hey.
You know what it is. Go on, son.
Go on, Wayne. Our co-hosts Wayne and
Absolute
James.
scenes, but
well,
turn
I
the
don't know what's
referee
going on here,
is-
but our co-hosts James and Wayne have just interjected themselves, and thank God they did, because if they hadn't, hang on a minute.
No.
Ref, turn round.
Not like that.
No, that was a
Referee
low blow.
Oh.
What? No, that was a low
Off the-
blow.
off
Come
the
on,
distraction-
you
off the
kidding me?
distraction.
You have to cheat again every time. Yeah, blown up red in the face because he had to cheat to win
what
again.
This means that this
Yeah.
this
Funny.
maniac has just
I
cemented
can't
his
believe that's just happened.
cemented this. You know, this
not
starting
having
to make me sick. I don't know.
This
what
is
it's-
ridiculous. Not only does he attack Wayne, he cheats to beat our good friend, our regular guest, Damien Black.
So, someone's got to put Tim Strange in his place.
Someone's got to put Tim Strange in his place. And do you know what? Wayne Madden and James Chilvers nearly just did.
Yeah. I mean,
This is going to blow up between Wayne and Tim.
This is not over. This is not over by a long
No,
shot.
and I'm not having this. Wait till I speak to the station manager, Neil Kipling, about this.
Yeah. We need to do something about this.
Because if we're meant to be reporting to this idiot, I'm not standing for it. I don't blame Wayne for getting involved just there. I mean, I was very concerned for Wayne when he went down, but
see that, man? It's just a blatant disrespect.
I'm
He just spat in Wayne's face on his
just
way out
spat
of
in
the
Wayne's
arena.
face.
Tim Strange just spat in Wayne's
Go on,
face.
Wayne, take his head off, mate. Go on, Wayne, knock him out. Thing is, I wouldn't like to tangle with Wayne. He's a big, strong dude. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
Like, they're going to push the wrong button, and Wayne Madden's going to be a madman and snap.
I mean, like, you know, most people.
They don't call him Mad Dog Wayne Madden for no reason.
No, you do not want to be on the wrong side of him.
Wayne's going to be fuming. I don't blame him for interjecting then. Put some music on.
Yep.
We were both young when I first saw you. I close my eyes and the flashback starts. I'm standing there.
rejoin us here, Spanish announce table, Maximum Pro Wrestling in North Shields. After I've got my tetanus shot for having been sprayed on by Tim Strange.
Watch your mouth. You're on thin ice as it is.
I'll tell you, we'll come back to that thin ice. I'll tell you something.
Cheating to win matches, coming on here like you've won the place.
Speaking of Tim Ice, by the way, if you were on tin ice, we'd all be in trouble, wouldn't you? You'd crack the weight of you. Right, so we're about to get our main event underway.
Yeah.
About to see the last participant in this main
I'm
event.
quite looking forward to this. Wrestler in the ring there looking like a young Dennis Knight. I'm
Yes.
really looking forward to seeing how he performs tonight.
Absolutely.
Got that aura about him, like a Midian style. Love it.
Oh, okay, here we go. The best looking man to be introduced in North Shields. Dennis Donovan looking confused, of course, because Tim Strange has already been out tonight.
You laid your hands on me.
That's not how I remember it.
Oh, I'm gonna own Spanish announce after this.
You don't
Okay.
give it a rest, do you?
Excuse me.
Give it a rest. Come on here like
Give
you
it
won
a.
the place.
I've been assaulted tonight. I'm a victim of assault.
A victim of assault? With what Tim was going to do to Wayne?
He wasn't gonna do anything.
You're the one that knows it better than anyone. I
Your
think you know that's a lie.
colleague, Mr. Madden here, stood up and he was going to lay his hands on a professional wrestler. You know you don't do that.
I've always stood by that rule, but when Tim Strange is there in the face of Wayne, after the way he's carried on this show, belittling our fans on air, belittling our fans on social media, Wayne is sticking up for Spanish announce table, and he's sticking up for local professional wrestling too.
Here we go, more fake news from the bias media.
We've always called everything straight down the middle, and you know that. But when it comes to Tim, when it comes to you in particular, Road and the Rat, we know that we can't do that because of the way you carry on.
All I know is I may very well be pressing charges against you after the show.
You know what? I am speechless. And
You're here to broadcast.
Not
What did you
rarely.
do? You got up, you made your way to the ring, which you shouldn't have done, and you put
Okay.
your hands
Okay.
on me.
Do you know what? Maybe after this match, maybe we'll get Asylum to, do some of this work. I mean, he
It's
seems
good
to be
to see
making an
Asylum.
impression on this crowd. So,
Well, let me tell you something about Asylum. That belt is on borrowed time.
yes, I
Hang on,
imagine,
you think Tim Strange is going to beat Asylum?
Oh,
he's laughing, he knows it's a
Mr.
joke.
Tim Strange
I'm laughing
is
too,
gonna
but it's
win.
for a different
Yeah,
reason.
of course it
yes.
is.
Completely
Have you
different
seen the
reason.
size of Asylum? Have you seen what he does
Yeah.
in the ring to
Ah,
people?
yeah.
Squashes people like bugs. Look at him.
I assure you,
rings
sir,
for our
you
main
will
event
not do
tonight.
that to my associate, your Canadian nightmare, and our wrestling
We've
icon,
got
Mr. Tim
Asylum.
Strange.
We've
believe
got
that one
Musso
straight.
from Edinburgh. We've got a triple threat match here. It looks absolutely phenomenal.
This is a real throwback match, isn't it? With
It
the two
is,
We've got
yeah.
in the ring here. We've got a mixture of old school styles and really enjoying what this is going to pan out.
Yeah.
Thankfully, there's no Tim Strange as well, which
Oh,
is making it
thankfully.
But you know, that's
in the
even
palate
better.
earlier.
Tim Strange robbing the victory really from Damien Black using.
And how do you come to that assessment?
I saw him use a foreign object while I was next to the
We
ring.
did not use a foreign object.
Okay,
Have you
okay.
got any evidence? Oh, you probably haven't. Then
Well,
you'll
live-
dress it up
We're
as something
streaming
on
live on
I
Facebook
was
and
too
on
busy.
YouTube over Nova Radio 102.5 FM. Everybody has seen you
Oh, yes,
live over
absolutely,
the
yeah,
internet
yeah.
cheat.
Nobody saw that because
Everybody
it didn't
saw it.
happen.
Everybody watching this video saw you have a weapon in your hand, mate. It's clear as day. You were 10 feet
So,
away from us with a chain
Stop
in your hand.
it with your lies, with your slander. You've been doing it for weeks.
So why did you have a chain in your hand? What were you doing? Unlocking your bicycle to go home?
Look, the chain was there. It must have been from a previous match. I don't know. We were just trying to get rid of it.
Nobody in the previous match used a chain.
Well, nobody in that match used a chain either.
I'll tell you right now, we have a group of dedicated fans over in the corner. They are very passionate about their country. They're very passionate about the way they feel.
No, they're just drunken yobs, is what
and
they are.
they nearly tore
Driving
this
to drink.
venue down in unappreciation of Tim Strange. And so there has to be an argument.
Who are you talking about? Oh, God,
No,
God,
look,
He
no.
was having
Complete
drinks
waste.
thrown
You
at him.
know-
He was having food
You know,
thrown at him.
Dennis,
Children were crying because of you and because of Tim.
I gotta be honest. I know that you're not gonna like it.
Oh, probably not.
But
because
you
of
have
your
to,
mouth.
even you have to admit that Tim Strange, he gets people's gander up. There is a certain
Do I have to
certain
admit
thing.
that?
Why do you think he got booed out of the building when he came down?
He did
How
not.
Many people
Well,
did you
we
see
must have been in a different building because all I heard was rapturous applause.
for the Canadian national anthem.
Absolutely.
In North Shields.
Absolutely. Every single person in
Yeah,
here
okay.
got up, hands on heart, and
Hands
sang
on ears?
along. How dare you?
In the ring now, Asylum leading the charge as part of this triple threat.
Asylum, he's like a tank, isn't
Yeah,
he, this dude?
yeah. I think Musso wisely stepping outside the ring, conserving his energy, making sure to keep out of the action. But of course, that isn't going to last for long as both men realise exactly what Musso was up to.
You know what Asylum reminds me of? If a really, really angry refrigerator listened to Slipknot. Here we go.
You know what he reminds me of?
What's that?
Somebody that's going to lose the title to Mr. Tim Strange.
He reminds me of a proud champion who's capable of defending his title.
I can't see them.
Oh, well, yes. Well, you would take any side against Mr. Tim Strange.
And when was
wouldn't
the last time Tim won a triple threat match?
Why don't you go on to Mr. Tim Strange's babyface? Huh? Why don't you go on to his Facebook? Why don't you go on to his Twitter? All the information that you need is on there.
I tried going online, but I didn't like the photographs that he was sharing, you know? I mean, the photographs of Tim standing there with the flag and, yeah.
Very noble.
Noble.
Yes.
What does
patriotic?
Actually,
what more do you want?
Now that we're thinking about it, right? That we've just had Tim's match, yeah.
Right.
And Tim is, for some reason, managed to be victorious against Damien Black.
For some reason.
Okay.
No doubt.
I know the reason, because he cheated.
Where is Tim now? I mean, how does he sort of celebrate after the match, or what does he do?
Well, he certainly doesn't drink.
I wasn't accusing him of anything. I was just saying, how does he? What does he do?
He goes backstage. He composes himself
on his own,
after
obviously.
His match, gets ready, and goes home.
Right.
By himself,
well, what did you expect him to do?
I don't know. I mean, being Canadian, maybe to prepare some.
A touch of xenophobia, yes.
I haven't even finished my sentence, and you're accusing me of being xenophobic.
Well, you started with being Canadian, so.
This is the kind of accusations we get all the time from Dennis.
Well, not just from me, I assume. From everybody across,
it's
which is going to be
literally
quite a few
just
people,
you,
I would
Dennis.
imagine.
It's just you, and it's just him, and it's starting to get on everybody's nerves, dude.
Musso is still outside the ring. He really does not want to come in. He's taking his time. He's making sure both performers are, the other two men in the ring are worn down, and he is just regaining and taking his time with as much strength as possible, although Asylum now seems to be putting an end to that.
The strength of Asylum is mad, isn't it?
Oh, it is, absolutely, absolutely.
He's like a young Joseph Parks, isn't he? The way he moves, the way he carries himself.
Certainly.
Huge but agile. Butterfly suplex.
Now, indeed. Musso in a lot of pain after that. I don't blame him. Asylum, I mean, if he'd put any more energy into that, he would have thrown the man backstage.
God, Asylum.
Let me jump in a second.
Yes.
What did you think of Tim Talks?
I thought it was a colossal waste of time.
Excuse me?
What exactly did it achieve other than for Tim to come out and rant about how much better he is?
You heard the announcement. And I think you can say I've not been overselling it over the last few days.
Look, I heard the announcement, but I mean, I don't really care. I mean, who cares who Tim faces or what he does or how did he even get that?
Who's going to care?
Okay.
Mr. Asylum in the ring.
How did he even manage to get that #1 contendership
Tim
anyway?
is going to win the Three Rivers Championship.
He's going to beat that gentleman in the ring for the Three Rivers Championship whenever he damn well pleases. Could be next week, could be the week after, could be tomorrow. Who knows?
Boulder Dash.
Boulder Dash at all.
You've seen Asylum wrestle.
Is this?
You know what Asylum's capable of.
Exactly, and I know who's better than him as well. Who?
Does he have some kind of like?
Certainly not.
Does he have some kind of like Maple Leaf type Money in the Bank briefcase or something? Is he going to come out at the end of this match?
No. About a month
okay.
ago,
yes.
he beat Joseph Biggs in a match.
Okay.
By the skin of his
to
teeth.
become the #1 contender. And, you know, it's open. He can use that whenever he wants.
At the end of the day, though, Dennis, Joseph Biggs is a different ballgame to Asylum of all people. Asylum is a champion for a damn good reason. You know that, man.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes. Oh, listen. Look, I'm not taking anything away from him, okay? I'm really genuinely not, and it will
Except
be
for his championship, that's what you're taking away.
Yes, exactly, well done for coming round to the idea. But no,
right.
Well, yes, it is right. But we're not taking anything away from him. It will be a tough match. It will be a very difficult match to win. We're not saying it won't be, but there can only be one outcome. You know that. You know that.
Well, I guess with the amount that you cheat all the time, I guess it probably will be a fair match.
When was the last time I cheated?
Well, I
if you've
seem
got
to
all
recall
the answers.
in a match that we're actually live on the internet right now this second. Everybody watching at home about half an hour ago, you cheated with a metal chain and with a low blow to beat Damien Black.
Here we go. And no doubt tomorrow on Twitter, on Facebook, you'll be putting putting out all kinds of doctored footage, all kinds of fake photographs,
out the
fake
truth.
news.
We don't even need fake photographs. We got the real ones. I can put those out.
Exactly.
Well, I
Nice,
hope
double
you do,
clothesline there.
because then you'll see that I didn't cheat.
Okay.
Well, let's ask Damien Black. He's the one that was in the ring. He's
That's
the
exactly
one that had steel chain used against him. He's the one that was low blowed by your compadre earlier
yes,
tonight.
yes. You ask Mr. Strange's opponent, and yeah, I'm sure you're going to get the truth. Yes. He lost. He's going to make excuses, isn't he?
Yeah, he lost because Tim cheated. He's the one that was in the ring.
So you are starting to exasperate me now.
We're asking, will he deliver the shot? Let's deliver it.
Why don't you just go and get yourself involved in this match as well, Mr. Superstar? Why don't you go and do that?
That's a good idea. I might do that.
Well, I think you should.
Yes.
Make it a fatal four-way.
Would you be cheering for me? Would that happen, Dennis?
Would I be cheering for
yes,
you?
Yes.
Would I be cheering for you? No.
Yeah, be cheering for a cheater like Tim Strange.
Okay.
A cheater.
So you see, I wonder, right, if I take
a fan get so poorly received in a venue.
Ah, come
Don't
on.
take any pictures of me
You
whatsoever.
Can, yes, you can. You see. There you go. You laugh. You like it. It's all right. It's a bit of fun.
A bit of fun.
We can see. We can put this on.
You've
social
assaulted
media
me tonight. You've laid your hands on me. You've taken pictures of me against my will.
Against your will.
Against my will. Yes.
Absolutely ridiculous. I don't know what you're on about. It's craziness what you're talking about.
Don't worry, it's fine. When I filter, I'll put in a maple leaf. It'll be fine.
Oh, I'm sure you will. Yes. Yeah. I'm sure you will. Honestly, sorry.
It's all a bit of fun.
A bit of fun. What, assaulting somebody at ringside's a bit of fun, is it?
I didn't assault you.
Yes, you did. I was up on there telling the referee something that I saw in the match.
Interjecting yourself in the wrestling match.
Not interject myself in
Yes, you were.
anything.
You were
I did
distracting
not.
Everybody here saw you do it.
Did you notice perhaps that, I don't know, a lock of hair had fallen to the wrong side of Ben Stewart's head,
Look,
and you
it
were
doesn't
like,
matter what I saw. All I was doing was
Okay.
trying to tell the referee what had happened.
Okay.
And
Oh,
you
Asylum.
stood up and assaulted me. So yes, you did.
Musso on Asylum.
Oh, Asylum momentarily taken down there.
Driven into the turnbuckle, and it looks as if... no, not just yet, although he wants to be. Musso screaming that he is the champion.
Musso putting on an impressive show tonight.
Absolutely. We've had a couple of performers come down from Scotland. I'm quite impressed at the distances these men have travelled.
Oh yeah, like, don't
Yeah.
mention Canada. Oh yeah, that's not a distance at all. But let's praise people who come from Scotland.
We've been praising Canada all night. We even
Have you?
poked him over for
Tim
his
Strange lives down the road, doesn't he? I mean, these guys actually travelled.
Tim to begin with.
How dare you suggest such a thing? How do you know Tim doesn't come up from Canada for every match?
Call it down the line. We would say we gave props to Tim for all the great stuff that he's done recently. But
Yes.
we have to call it down the middle and be fair. And when we're being fair, we're taking into account Tim's behaviour, the way he's carried on, the way he's disrespected these fans in attendance here tonight, the way he's using weapons
behaviour
and using
has
your
been nothing
misbehaviour to
but
win matches.
exemplary.
Exemplary? Yeah, exemplary. A bad example.
Ah, it is.
Of course not.
Oh, straight to the ribs. So, when is the wonderful Mr. Strange going to grace our presence next then?
Well, next Friday.
Okay.
Against Warwick.
Yeah?
Yes, in Pegswood. Yes, as discussed in great length earlier tonight. But you'd like to get me out here and repeat myself. Okay, I will. So Mr. Tim Strange, next Friday night, 9 days from now, Pegswood, he's going to be shown Warwick, if that is his real name. He's going to be shown Warwick. Exactly what morality, values and principles are all about. Thank you very much.
And how do you envisage that match going?
How do I envisage that match going? What do you think I'm going to say?
I think I'm going to say, Lucas, I think I'm going to interject myself in the match. I'm going to cheat, and Tim's going to steal another victory that he doesn't deserve.
Oh,
That's what I think
no.
you're going to say.
Gentlemen, you're missing an incredible no disqualification match as
good
Dennis
point, Wayne.
drabbles
Yes,
on.
fighting in the audience
Asylum taking it to Musso just outside of the ring, edging closer to
Up
that
on that
barn.
ramp, yeah.
Now taking both of these contestants down the ramp,
If he could do that
back
to
to the
two
ring.
huge men like that, what's he going to do to Tim?
At some of the audience even getting involved in attempting to actually smack the wrestlers with weaponry.
Can't say I blame them.
I know.
Here's your cue. They're on the apron. Oh, go on. Get yourself down.
No, Dennis, it's not everyone I want to stop. It was just you. I thought I made that clear.
I see. Yes, the person who's got an ironclad contract. You must have breached that contract about 150 times already tonight.
I'm going to kill that intern. Anyway, moving on. Where's... Okay.
Oh,
Asylum taking it to Musso, goes in for the count.
Shades
Two
of neon
and
white.
nearly a 3 count, but of course Ben Stewart pulled out of the ring. Senior official Ben Stewart pulled out of the ring. And of course, Ben Stewart, no doubt, will be in action this Saturday at the Full Tilt Rumble as well.
Yes, the Rumble for Full Tilt Wrestling this Saturday.
Anarchy Brewery, yes,
Anarchy Brewery, yeah.
Should be an exciting night.
And watch a great Rumble as well. It's going to be
Indeed.
great. I wonder who's going to show up in that Rumble.
I don't know. Is there like 30, 40 contestants?
I'm not
or
sure, but
no.
it's a multi-man match as always. with Rumble.
Tonight you'll probably end up in it, won't you?
Do you know, that would be interesting.
Yes.
That would be a surprise. But it looks as time it's the
And you
time
can
for the
be his manager,
pedigree.
and then I can
Pedigree
accuse you of
straight
cheating.
to Asylum.
Cheating. All we've ever tried to do
It's-
is put
and
wrestling
then
down the
2
middle,
count, Musso
promote
breaks
local
it up.
wrestling and keep the peace. And all you've done, interject yourself into matches,
Yeah.
cause cheating, and rile the fans up for no reason whatsoever.
Absolute piffle.
Speaking of interjecting, you're interjecting yourself into this, where we could be commentating a great main event, and
Right, you
instead
could be.
we're focusing
but
too much
why
time
won't
on
we do?
Dennis and Tim.
Right. Well, isn't that why you asked me out here? Isn't that why you invited me out here tonight?
I didn't invite you out here. You came out here and
You
you
invited
waved
yourself,
this
dude.
mystery piece of paper in my hand and said,
Mystery
"Iron
Wax
Clad," and
mystery.
sat down.
You've seen
Musso
it.
going for the pin, but no. Oh,
Again,
And I'll
aside
tell
him
you-
like a young Leon White, moves
I'll
like
tell
a
you
cat.
something there. Ben Stewart, he nearly had a 3, just about. He was about to bring that hand down, but Asylum got in there and broke up the pin. And Musso and Mark both down on the ring canvas. Musso getting back to his feet. Asylum looking
Choke
for
slam.
what appears.
The Goozle.
Yes, that's it. Going for it.
This is going to be Tim Strange's destiny.
How dare you?
It
Every
could be.
opportunity you
That-
get, isn't it?
Asylum
Every
back off the
opportunity.
ropes.
It is. And do you
No.
know why? Because it's the constant
Asylum
comments
with a
from
kick
you
to the
on our
face.
Twitter page, on our Facebook
What do you mean
page.
constant?
It's every
Asylum.
day. Every
not.
post is
Throwing
comments.
Musso outside of the
I only
ring.
ever respond to the bloody trash that you put on there.
Yeah. Yeah, with negative comments.
Absolutely not.
Asylum
Truthful
going down to the
comments.
canvas. This could be it. This could be
We
the
go.
3. That is
Hey!
the 3.
Asylum retains.
Another one.
That's all right. And that is what we get. That's destiny. Asylum retains again, as always.
I think that caught a couple of people off guard. And I think the
Great
next
match.
time
Oh, yes!
that Asylum is a hold
that idiot
hold on.
That's some absolute
What the hell is
I
this?
think we know who has arrived!
A mystery masked opponent.
Mr.
Tim
Strange!
Strange.
Yes!
The aforementioned
Go on, Mr.
Canadian
Strange!
Dennis
idiot.
Donovan
Tim Strange.
getting a little bit
Get
excited.
out of the
Would
ring.
you
The
sit
match is
down,
over,
for
you
God's
lunatic.
sake.
Yeah, but you think this is funny, don't you?
I don't think this is
Oh my God. Musso taking the opportunity to
Now the
capitalize and
tables
attack
turned.
Asylum. Asylum really was giving it to Tim Strange. He was showing Tim Strange exactly what
He
he's going
was
to get in
not.
their
He
match.
was-
Yes, he
Mr.
was.
Strange was caught off guard. You saw that.
Okay, fair enough. And it
Hang
looks
on,
as
what?
if
Mr.
Musso
Strange?
and Strange forming a
Yes!
temporary alliance against Asylum. And Strange
Are you
taken down to the
joking?
canvas and Tim,
Oh, very funny.
Tim Strange letting everybody know that he will be the
Yeah.
champion.
You could have done it to his face, could you, Tim?
And it looks as if Matty Mayhem and Ryan
Go on,
Rude,
mate!
Anarchy
What are you
Inc.
doing
also
now?
coming
Go
into
on,
the
Ryan!
ring.
Anarchy Inc. to the rescue.
And it looks as though Tim Strange is doing the first sensible
Oh, well,
thing he's done
yeah.
all
And
night
as
getting
usual,
the hell
Tim
out of
Strange
there.
He was outnumbered.
scarpers.
See that?
Canadian coward scarpers from the ring.
Canadian coward.
Hashtag Canada deserves better. Hashtag Canadian
He took
cowardice.
one look at Anarchy
Hashtag
Inc. and he ran
Canadian
away.
nightmare.
Hashtag Canadian cowardice. It'll be trending by the end of the night. Hashtag Canada deserves better. Maximum
Hashtag
Pro Wrestling
Canadian
here.
coward.
North Shields. And,
I say no way Nova Scotia when he gets in the ring.
absolutely,
Very,
absolutely.
very droll.
And
Ladies
take
and gentlemen, give it up for Asylum, Matty Mayhem, Ryan Rude, and Mark Anthony.
taking an opportunity in the ring.
Asylum, who soon
we have
will
it
be
in the ring.
Asylum,
sorting out
Anarchy Inc.,
championship.
and of course
Mark
Mark
Anthony,
Rude, all taking
Asylum,
a
champion here with
well-deserved
the Three Rivers.
appreciation from the audience. As
What a
Get used to that
disgusting sight to end the show with.
Get
I think
used
it's
to
quite
it.
glorious, actually. But speaking of the end of the show, I'll be happy
Bring it on,
if it
Tim.
means that I do not have to speak to you again for at least another week.
At least another week. You've got it right.
That's all we like to say. I love Asylum. I love Anarchy Inc.
And it looks
These
as
guys are
if,
great guests. These are brilliant guests to have on air.
Oh,
They're
are they?
polite,
Are
they love
they?
wrestling,
Do
unlike
they?
you who loves cheating.
I love wrestling. I love it.
Yeah, you love it when you cheat.
You say that one more time, I swear to God, I'm going to have the police on you.
When was the last time any of these
we
guests
go.
came on and caused a problem? Never. They're always.
What do you think? I
fantastic
listen to your show on a weekly
A
basis.
raffle. looks as if we're going to the raffle. We might as well stay with
There we
this. That's it. Impromptu calling of the raffle. Do you have tickets? I have tickets. Hold on a second.
Fancy dress competition first.
You've come to broadcast a show and you've bought raffle tickets.
That's exactly what I've done.
Supporting the local scene, dude. Very present time.
It's about investing money.
If
in the
you
local
win,
scene.
well, I hope
Yeah.
you give that back to the people.
I will. I will give it back to the community.
Good.
Did you not have enough money for a raffle ticket?
Just didn't care less about it.
You didn't want to support the local scene,
Dennis
was that it?
Donovan doesn't want to support the local community. He just
I
wants to come
support
along.
it in my own way.
In your own way, you mean by supporting Tim Strange, who is himself an
Which
export.
brings in so much money to the region.
You think Tim Strange has actually brought audience in tonight? You think that's actually happened?
Every single one of them.
People were leaving when he started singing the
I think
Canadian
if we got a
national
vox pop
Not
together
even.
and we
In
asked
fact,
some of these
there
people,
was a queue start forming
What,
at the
what,
door
what do you think the
downstairs.
universal sign of hands on the ears means?
I think if we asked some of these people who they were here for, I'll tell you something like that.
They would say, each and every one of them, unanimously, Mr. Tim Strange.
Mr. Tim
Mr.
Strange.
Tim
Okay.
Strange.
Well, I mean,
Right, who gets to choose costume? Monty Mayhem gets to choose. And Asylum gets to choose. Ryan?
You know what I'm feeling first? Without a doubt, it has to be the Stormtrooper.
well.
Yep, not bad.
Stormtrooper
Do you know what?
takes a prize.
I think Raymond's outfit is Michael Myers is awesome.
I
That's his
get
age
it.
on. I love that outfit. That's so cool.
I like that. I like
It's
it.
got to be Michael Myers.
I like it.
Yeah, of course, if one of these brats came dressed as Mr. Tim Strange, they'd get #1 prize, wouldn't they?
Ejected from the building, more like.
It seems Michael Myers is getting a bit impatient there on the side of the apron. I have a funny feeling if you don't pick Michael Myers, there's going to be serious trouble, but we'll see what happens. Matty Mayhem thinking about who he's going to choose. And he chooses the vampire.
Chose the vampire. Hey, well, everyone knows I'm a big fan of vampires. It's no secret, so I'm pretty pleased to see that.
And here's the vampire.
Do they not realise it's Halloween tomorrow?
Maybe you know, they're just having fun. They're young people.
maybe. You should
You
try
were
it
young
sometime.
once,
I
Dennis,
have
weren't
fun.
you?
Yes.
Yeah, that was back
Still
when
am,
Man discovered
thank you very
fire.
much.
Oh yes, of course, of course.
What was it like when the pyramids were built?
Thank you very much. Thank you. Keep digging, keep digging.
I'm here all night.
It's amazing how young some of these kids are, like, you know, all dressing as R-rated characters. It's fantastic, really.
Yeah, 5-year-olds dressed as Jason Voorhees.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah.
brilliant. There's some
I
really
gotta-
cool
I
parents
gotta
here
credit
tonight.
them for that. That's
You've really
pretty
got to
cool.
bring the parenting skills into question, haven't you?
Oh, it's fantastic.
That's pretty cool, man. I like that.
Jason
I'm,
Voorhees, Michael Myers. That's some of the greatest films that were ever made. Friday the
Stormtrooper's
13th,
fine.
Halloween. All we need now is Freddy Krueger.
So
That's
the
it.
Stormtrooper is fine. Jason Voorhees, Michael Myers, children shouldn't be dressing up as that. That's disgraceful.
Don't be silly.
That's
It's
the way
a
to
bit
do
of
it.
fun. It's Halloween. That's what it's all about.
I like it. I like it.
And I bet you buy a humbug at Christmas time, don't you?
I love
Dennis
Christmas.
Donovan doesn't celebrate Christmas. He
I
probably spent.
do, and I keep Christmas very well, thank you very
What
much.
did you and Tim do for Canada Day, actually?
We celebrated it.
Oh, right, okay. How? Bit of maple syrup on the toast.
We
and
did have maple syrup.
Yeah, all right,
We
okay.
watched some brilliant Canadian films.
Okay,
So,
that'll be interesting.
the loudest chair gets to pick the first number.
Oh, here we go.
You're not allowed to play, by the way.
What?
It's for children. You're not meant to be playing.
Ah, right. Right, well, you keep digging. You keep digging.
Come back here. I'm not getting to hit that easy.
Ryan Root coming back to the ring.
That child with the knife looks very psychotic.
He does. He's very much committed to the part, I think.
Scarily so. I would
Michael
say.
Myers, all right. Yeah, yeah.
At least he hasn't assaulted anybody tonight, as far as we know. So.
Trick or treat bag.
Oh, here we go.
And the winning number is 221 to 225. But I winner here, if you'd like to go to the back, Merton.
We
Come
got
on with a go.
The guy over there looking like a young Scott Ian from Anthrax. Very cool.
Very
Big
cool.
Anthrax fan.
Very nice.
The next prize
Ah, come on, I enjoy a good raffle, Dennis.
is a prize
Smile.
ticket to our next
You
What
enjoy it.
on earth have I got to smile about? apart from Mr. Tim Strange's victory, of course.
Who picks the next number?
Tim Strange once again, of course, disappearing.
Right.
Children's screams might interfere with the microphone. We do apologise to listeners about that if you're driving.
Well, as long as it drowns you out, I'm sure the listeners aren't going to really mind.
No, of course, yeah. Ha ha ha.
And we've got a young Michael Myers, local wrestling fan Roman.
I'll tell you, this guy knows.
Fantastic
this
as
guy knows
Michael
kayfabe,
Myers from
Knife
Halloween.
away from that child. That is horrendous to see.
This guy. I'd say some people in the audience, they're committed to the character.
116 to 120. You like to go to the red table?
Nice.
That was awesome.
That is cool.
I wish some people close by were committed to their roles instead of getting involved in other people's.
Well, you know, I mean, maybe we have to get involved in other roles because the ones that we see other people doing don't suit them.
I'm lost for words on that one.
I'm glad. I wish you were, actually.
That was
to be
even
honest
louder
with
than the
Won't be
boost for
for
Tim
long.
Strange earlier.
I know.
There was no booze for Tim
The
Strange
kids are
earlier.
getting more excited now than they were when Tim was out.
You were here, I was here. We both heard the same thing.
Yeah, booze.
Certainly not.
I like it.
Children crying.
Don't talk ridiculous. Children love Mr. Tim Strange.
Yeah, when they can't see or hear him.
Well, that's it, exactly. Tim Strange is like the boogeyman. You just want to avoid him, you know. It's like Tim comes out of the closet and it's like, oh my God, it's Tim. You know?
86 to 90.
Right.
You're paralysed with rage, aren't you?
I am incandescent with rage, sir.
I'll tell you, I've heard some
You've
good
just
words.
referred to my associate, your Canadian nightmare, and our wrestling icon as a boogeyman.
Of course he's a boogeyman. I mean, you probably think of him more as a boogeyman, but that's another conversation entirely.
I beg your pardon.
Anyway, listen.
That isn't the first kind of slur like that you've thrown my way. Thank you
No,
very much.
that's true, actually. It's not.
No, it's not.
I enjoy those.
Oh, do you know?
And our final draw tonight.
One for a pair of tickets, and the winner will receive the bottle of Jack Daniels.
Oh, here we go.
Now we're talking.
Now, in that case, there's a light cheer from the adults in the audience. Quite impressed by that.
Oh, looking at the parenting skills, they'll probably let one of the kids have it, won't they?
Come on. We got a very positive response
A lot
for
of
the
people,
JD.
a lot of people wanting to win that
Everyone likes
JD.
a nice
I'll
Jack
tell you that.
Daniels, and I've had a couple tonight.
Winning number is 216 to 220.
Oh.
216 to 220. If you'd like to go and get your 2 pair of tickets.
Nice.
And the next show is for the bottle of Jack Daniels.
Here we go. It's the one everyone's
Jack
been waiting
Daniels.
for.
Give me good luck.
All right, good luck, good luck. Okay, all right. Wait a minute, I entered. I want to win. Hold on a second. Why am I wishing you
Of
good luck?
course,
No.
you want to win, don't you? It's whiskey or Irish, aren't you?
And look who's been xenophobic now.
All right. Throwing that one back in my face, are you?
Yes, okay.
Tasting your own medicine.
166 to 170.
Damn. And it looks as though we have a winner. It is, of course, the people who cheered the loudest to get Tim
The
Strange
drunken
out of the building.
reprobates. What, you're going to tank them up with some more Jack Daniels? Oh,
No, well, they can drink the whiskey, and then they can use the bottle to throw Tim Strange at the next match.
also now you're inciting violence. Oh,
Well,
right.
it's against Tim Strange, absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, you're committed an act of violence tonight.
Well, it looks as if that is the end of our night here at
Thank
Maximum Pro
God
Wrestling.
for that.
I'd like to unfortunately thank Dennis Donovan, but I would also like to thank genuinely Damien Stone, of course, and James Chilvers, and indeed Lucas, who's sitting across from us.
No, it's been, yeah,
This
sorry
has
about
been
the
a hell of
obviously
an
the
event.
altercation that happened earlier, but other than that, it's been a great show.
Indeed, and to Neil Owen Kibling, and of course to Dean Weirs of Nova Radio Northeast, and everyone else involved who's helped make this event happen.
couldn't agree more.
And we'll see you once again in studio next week. But if you're listening live, stay tuned for some great music in a 10 o'clock live at Damien Stone with Oh the Humanities.
Oh, the Humanities.
And we're looking to turn that around. And have a good night. And thank you so much for listening. Enjoy.
Thanks very much, folks.
This is Nova Radio Northeast.